Hello and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. We are here with the Division B Grand Finals. It's been an especially long season for B, but here we are. I am the Krushinator, and I'm joined tonight by Jazzalene. How you doing tonight, Jazzy?
I am having a long but good day, and I'm excited to get into these matches. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's a long weekend in Canada. Victoria Day today, so I got to sleep in. There's a lot of fireworks outside, so my window's closed. But other than that, I'm excited to get into it today. We've got Resurgence of the Storm from Division B West. We've got Strange Team Comp from Division B Southeast clashing here for our finals. Should be, yeah, it's been a pretty cool story here. Resurgence of the Storm, they got here, it's been a pretty good run for them. 2-1, 2-0 into the 3-1. In the number 2 seed, and Strange Team Comp actually coming here with a pretty similar win rate as the number 6 seed from B Southeast.
Yeah, it's good to see kind of like the underdog and the seeds making it all the way here to the finals for the entire B division. There's so many of them. So it's exciting. A long journey for these teams to get here, but, this is it. This is all there is to it for the B champs here. I don't even think last season, did they do a whole B overall championship, or did they just leave it with the B Northeast,
They did not.
Southeast?
They didn't cross them at all. It was just B West had their finals, and that was it. B East.
Yeah.
Did they even cross North and South? I think they did.
I think they did, and I think B West was just its own thing, and they were done when they were done their B West division. So it's kind of nice to see this year the B West taking on the B East winners, bringing another level up here. So I'm excited to get into this.
We will be getting into it in just a second. We'll take a quick look at our map bans for the series. Resurgence of the Storm lost the coin flip and chose map pick. It was given map pick, I should say. They banned away Cursed Hollow and Garden of Terror. Strange Team Comp banning away Praxis Holdout and Dragonshire. And we are going to be going to Battlefield of Eternity for our first map of the day. We're jumping right into it here. Now, quick reminder for everyone out there, there's a lot of reworked heroes that are currently banned in the NGS. Johanna, Stitches, Vala, Anduin, and there's Raynor, yes, are all banned here for the NGS. Lucio's Mixing Fire level 20 talent is banned, so Lucio can still take high 5, but cannot take the level 20 upgrade. And other than that, I think that's pretty much it, other than some pretty obscure talent interactions. So
I think you got everything covered there. Yeah, that's true too. We can finally see some Falstad now if somebody wants to play it. He did get a little bit nerfed though in the patch, and I haven't really seen people prioritizing him since then. So, but we'll have to see what these teams are going to bring out here. I'm sure that they've had plenty of time to scout each other out, figure out what picks are going to be showing up here, and maybe we'll see some target bans. Maybe we see some really polished comps with some nice synergy come together tonight.
It will be. I think it's going to be very interesting what the offlane tends to look like, because there were some pretty big nerfs to our meta offlaners. Diva got some changes. Hogger got pretty well nerfed, especially in his camp ability. Sonya nerfed. So we may just see the same set of offlaners, but they'll have less impact, or maybe these teams think they've got something figured out, and they'll be bringing something interesting to the offlane.
I already see the Hogger taken away. Varian's going to be banned out over by Resurgence of the Storm. See if they're going to continue to kind of target these more frontline heroes here.
In Battlefield of Eternity, there's a little bit of macro to be done. It's important to do it, but all in all, it is a very team fight heavy map. So, I mean, you see the Cassia ban coming out there from Strange Team Comp. And another little twist with Battlefield, just with the NGS bans, with Vala and Raynor both taken away, there's a little bit of a choke on some of the standard. You already have like half your
you already have like half your racing heroes banned out just from NGS alone, so you don't need to touch them in the draft at all.
You don't have to worry about those. So like your Zol Jins, your Li Mings, these are kind of at a premium. If you want to pick those up, you better pick them up pretty early. Is going to be Varian Stukov banned away, so don't want any part of that combo to be Resurgence of the Storm. Strange Team Comp has been known to play a pick comp or two in the past with that Varian Stukov combo. So I'm interested to see what the first pick is going to be, whether it's going to be to try to lock in some of that race or to try to take something of a comfort.
Yeah, I mean, there's still... Oh, there we go. I was going to say, there's still Chromie. You know, she's up and available, wasn't touched in this last patch in terms of getting banned out. So she can kind of provide that poke and damage to the Immortal. Not, you know, not crazy race or anything, but definitely a great pickup on Battlefield of Eternity because she can, even if you're getting, you know, the team's playing the defense and you're trying to get that last bit of damage in, she's great at that. Li Ming kind of does the same thing here as well. We're going to see Malfurion picked up to pair with that over on the side of Resurgence of the Storm.
Pretty interesting combo there from Resurgence of the Storm. The roots obviously very good with Li Ming to be able to line up those shots. The Innervate to get a reduced cooldown could definitely bring some extra burst over on the side of Resurgence of the Storm. Bricky going to respond with the Mei here for Strange team comp, and I'm interested to see whether they're going to pair a healer here. No, they're actually going to lock in both of their damage. Spectrum is bringing the Sylvanas. So very sort of aggressive early game coming on through from Strange team comp. I think they want to get onto these walls very quickly.
Yeah, you know what? I don't mind these pickups. Mei, you're looking at a couple of those tanks, Stitches and Joanna being banned out here. Mei is going to provide a bit of blinds if you're picking up any kind of auto attack race over on the side of Resurgence of the Storm. But on top of that, you have Sylvanas and Chromie who, you know, are not like top priority for racing heroes, but they do quite well on this map. Sylvanas able to shut down those structures, get a little bit more value out of the Immortals. And again, Chromie just having that poke damage definitely helps here. We're going to see the Sonya ban now from Resurgence of the Storm. In just a few seconds, Strange team comp, last ban for the first game here.
See what they want to take away. Li Ming, Malfurion, pretty self-sufficient. They're going to remove the Muradin. Because, you know, Muradin against a Chromie Sylvanas could, you know, theoretically survive quite a while. Pretty easy to sidestep that Chromie damage if you're not locked down. Let's see what Resurgence of the Storm. They're going to go with the Kira here. Severn picking that up. And Perseus will be playing a Nubarak. So it looks like they're really going to be going after this backline.
This is... I can't wait to see what they do with this Kira because I always find she's hit and miss. A lot more misses than hits. But maybe they make it work. I mean, you're going to have some Malfurion roots, a Nubarak to kind of lock down targets to go in with revolving sweeps or just follow up damage on it. I'm interested to see what ultimate she's going to pick up here as well. Over on the side of Strange team comp, Leoric and Lucio going to be the last pick-ins here to round out the draft there.
Interesting setup here from Strange team comp. Leoric, pretty safe offlaner, into not knowing what C2D2 is going to pick up. Good into a possible Deathwing that could come on through. Could pair with that Malfurion.
Oh, there you go.
It's going to be Deathwing anyway. Was thinking maybe the Leoric would ward that out, but it is going to be the Deathwing. It's a pretty good setup with the Nubarak stuns, the Malfurion roots. You can really wind up that Molten Breath. This is going to be an interesting one. Kira going to be hunting in the back line, Li Ming combos up front, but I think Mei might be a little bit too much of a wall here.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. And they do have kind of some of those answers. You know, Leoric's going to provide some nice percent damage onto Deathwing here, kind of shred him down a bit. Shouldn't have any problems matching him in the lane. It's just going to be whether I think they have the synergy going for them to get lockdown on some of these targets, because you really need Ming to follow up with that burst damage. Deathwing, Kira, you know, any CC landed needs to be followed up with the Nubarak. Otherwise, it could get a little bit tricky here for them. I don't know. It's an interesting draft. It's mostly the Kira that's a little bit throwing me off from this, but just because you don't see it often doesn't mean that they're not going to make it work.
Kira is one that we have been starting to see at pro levels, specifically on Battlefield, because there just isn't a lot of wave clear that's needed, but we'll see how it comes out here. As on the left in the blue, we have Resurgence of the Storm with Siu on the Malfurion, Perseus playing the Nubarak, Wingman is playing Li Ming, C2D2 is on the Deathwing, and Severn playing the Kira.
Over on the right-hand side, Strange team comp. Spectrum will be playing Sylvanas. Lucio is going to be played by Dr. Evil. Bricky on the Mei, Jakoshlu on the Chromie, and Michelin on the Leoric.
Looks like we've got a little bit of a split here from Strange team comp, keeping an eye in the mid, seeing where they want to go with this. Sylvanas going to head up to the top lane. Severn is going to catch Jakoshlu here, but Kira may not have a way out. Gets out of the Mei Blizzard, but with Lucio on the chase, it's going to be very difficult to get away. Nice revolving sweep and drop off, and Kira's actually going to get away there. Did not see that coming. And looks like the rest of Resurgence of the Storm is flanking through.
Deathwing coming in with a stun onto Bricky, followed up with another stun from the Nubarak, and the root is out on top of that. There's a revolving sweep from Kira, and that's going to be first blood over to the side of Resurgence of the Storm, finding a nice first blood onto the Mei there.
That, I mean, those movements by the Kira there to get away and to move back in shows that this isn't just a flavor of the week Kira pick. That was some good control coming on out there from Severn. As we see Kira has headed on down to the bottom lane. Resurgence of the Storm coming out quick here, and that's really what you want to be doing with this Anubarak comp. Very impressive.
I mean, right now, they really don't have any front line here to kind of stop them from just pushing onto that front wall, so they did take quite a bit of damage there. We're going to see Mei drop a Blizzard, use that icing, nothing really to be found off of it. Time Trap in that bush there, Wingman standing right on top of it. It's going to be popped here. And again, not quite able to do anything off that. Anubarak coming in for the stun onto Spectrum. Spectrum just getting melted by Deathwing, and there's a second kill over to the side of Resurgence of the Storm.
Really nicely done. We saw the setup with the Nubarak gets the setup. Malfurion with the roots, and all C2D2 has to do is point. That's going to be a dead target. I mean, Lucio, once level 10 comes around, I'm assuming it's going to be a high five for the save into this heavy CC comp. We're on the side of Resurgence of the Storm, but until 10, it's going to be pretty tough getting away from that combo.
Yeah, Resurgence of the Storm has some really nice synergy going on. You can tell that they, you can tell that they put their work in to get here. Anytime some kind of CC goes out, they're following it up with the root, they're following it up with the Anubarak CC on top of it. Everything is just going out onto the one target that they managed to find.
Siege continues here in the top lane. Most of this front wall already down. Lucio was looking for a gank onto Kira. Kira actually rotating up to the top lane here. This could spell trouble here for Strange team comp. Leoric alone in the bottom lane. Severn's coming through with the flank. Spectrum could be caught here. Waves into the back to safety. Bricky going to take the bottom channel out. And we are heading towards our first immortal spawn of the game as we see some of this experience smote against the bottom wall.
See if they're going to be able to catch any of this here.
Severn grabs mostly dilapidated orbs.
Yeah. What do you think of the XP orbs?
Honestly, I haven't felt the impact of them at all. Like, I just go through and they're there. I don't feel like I'm any more or less ahead because of them. I feel like maybe, you know, there's some percentages that change in the background in terms of win rates because of it, but I haven't personally felt the effect much at all.
Bricky on the chase here for Wingman. Lucio trying to help out there, speeding them up. A Sovereign comes in on the flank. He's going to go ahead and grapple on out of there to safety before he's caught out of position. There's a stun going out onto Mei, and Nubarak tries to follow that up. There's pops into a Cryo Freeze and then gets rooted by the Malfurion, stunned by the Immortal, and picked off by the Kira. Down goes Mei once again here. Spectrum now having to use those Banshees to reposition and escape to safety. Let's see if he's able to make it out.
Ooh, all right, Spectrum. Mei did a good job of avoiding a lot of that CC, but I mean, once the 5th and 6th and 7th controls comes out on you, there's only so much you can do there. Nice job by Resurgence of the Storm to catch Mei in that stun zone as we are heading towards the halftime show here. Mei making their way back onto the battlefield. XP so far pretty even for both of our teams, about halfway to level 7.
And Leoric's been doing a good job of making sure that none of the XP is missed in that bottom lane, so it's helping to keep the team up here. We're going to see them push onto this Immortal for the defense here. Chase is on for Perseus and C2D2, both of them taking quite a bit of damage. Micklin continuing to just push forward and zone them out. Keep in mind, though, they have a Li Ming as well over there that can poke just like Chromie for the side of Strange team comp. So even though they zone them off, they haven't completely negated what's happening to this Immortal. They're leaving Sylvanas burning over on the side of the blue Immortal here. The rest of them on the defense as Leoric continues to soak in that bottom lane. So this is a 5v3 here for the moment if they're not careful. Brick is going to have to use that Cryo Freeze once again. The root comes out, catching 3 members. Big sleep there from the Malfurion. They're still trying to finish off this Immortal in the meantime, and it's looking like this is getting very close here for Resurgence of the Storm. They are going to finish that one off. C2D2 managing to secure that with the Deathwing damage there.
C2D2 dropping down and taking a lot of the heat off the rest of the team there, making sure no one else went down. It is going to be Resurgence of the Storm picking up this first Immortal of the game. They're a little bit bruised. We'll see how much that they can do with this. Perseus coming along with the flank. Wingman is there. The Burrow not going to connect, though, as the objective starts to do some damage to this front wall.
the first Immortal, so maybe just a front wall off this if they can clear it up soon enough. But if the gate falls down, it opens it up a little bit for them to look for some gank attempts here. There's Spectrum getting stunned in that Deathwing damage there, taking a little bit of heat. But the Immortal basically cleaned up now, and like I said, that front wall, pretty much the only thing going down. About to lose their Fountain here as well.
Trying to back out. It's like Kira and Leoric both battling it away on the top camp. Michelin does still have the tap. Severn not tapping just yet. Right. It was looking pretty close with that duel up there. I was wondering who was going to commit, but they both backed off, not wanting to die in that spot, as a lot of XP would have definitely been left on the ground there.
Deathwing up in the air now. That bottom siege camp up and available. Chromie coming back to the team here. Spectrum having a stun connect. Blizzard goes out from the Mei. Dr. Evil coming in to push back Perseus on the Anubrak. He's going to go ahead and burrow on under there, landing the stun on Mei on the way out here. Bricky taking a bit of damage in return. Stun goes out from the Deathwing, but Dr. Evil able to sidestep that one. They're going to look to try and get that Fountain once again here. Mei on the flank as well, sending out some missiles to get some damage, but just a lot of damage traded back and forth. Nobody quite going down in this bottom lane here.
Dr. Evil, I don't know how he missed that Deathwing stun. It's so difficult to just sit still on Lucio. They're just wiggling back and forth. Very nicely done as Bricky gets caught in those roots. Mei very low mana here. Still trying to maintain some presence. Picks up a globe. And it looks like Strange Team Comp do manage to ward away Resurgence of the Storm from this fort, as our next Immortals are up and running here. Severn and Michelin still battling it away in the top lane. Uh-oh, a missed drain means that New York definitely has to back off here. That's the trouble in this matchup. Kira with a ton of self-healing, and if Leoric doesn't attach that Drain Hope, that's another 10 seconds where Leoric is just completely outmatched.
You have level 10s online here going into this next Immortal phase as well. See if these teams are both just going to set up on the defense here for now. Wailing Arrow from the Sylvanas, High Five from Lucio, Ice Ball from the Mei, Slowing Sands from Chromie, and Leoric actually picking up March of the Black King.
Interesting not to go with Tomb against the Deathwing here. Maybe they didn't feel it was necessary alongside the Ice Wall, or maybe they just want Leoric to do some counter diving in the back for a little bit more sustain. I'm interested to see how that talent is going to be used by Strange Team Comp, as it's not one that we get to see an awful lot.
I mean, you're looking at a lot of melee that's probably going to be walking into your team anyway, so I don't hate it. The only thing is that an Entomb is always nice because it's the one thing Deathwing can't just, like, you can't cleanse an Entomb. You can't, it doesn't matter that he's unstoppable. If it's an Entomb dropped on him, he can't get out of there. So, I don't know. I don't hate it. I'm excited to see if he's going to make it work and kind of show off Leoric's other ultimate for once.
It's going to be interesting to see. Right now, Leoric and Kira still battling it away in the top lane as both teams looking for their opportunity to move across the map here. Looks like Resurgence of the Storm is going to start to make their way across. A triple impale there from Perseus is going to allow C2D2 to start to wiggle forward a little bit. Severn on the edge is going to be caught by the Chromie. Oh, Severn almost getting hit by that Blizzard. Kira in a lot of trouble here. Severn trying to get away, but Malfurion is going to turn it around. Look at Kira going unstoppable. Lucio and Sylvanas are down. Chromie is caught in the cocoon. I don't know how Kira survived that, Jazzy.
Baited the entire team in, it looked like, from Strange Comp, because they thought they had her, but they get turned on here, losing a third member. Chromie goes down. Leoric going into his Wraith Walk to walk away through to the top lane, and the burn are going to see halftime hit here for the side of Resurgence of the Storm.
Wow, I mean, Kira just leaving the battlefield at exactly the right moment. Siu with a huge silence with that Emerald Dream. Nice job by Resurgence of the Storm, and they're going to have themselves a very healthy Immortal, as it, lucky for them, went into race positions here, which, 1 in 4 chance. It's not something that you get to see an awful lot here on Battlefield. It's usually, you get north-south, or you get defensive spots for Immortal number 2.
Yeah, there we go. Resurgence of the Storm securing this Immortal. Big, healthy shield, as you said, and this one's going to be heading top.
Top lane, the wall was taken out by that initial push, so this fort is definitely in danger here.
Yeah, bottom fort too. Take a look down there. Kira going for the chase here. That minion wave crashing. There's really not much health left on that one. She's going to use an ultimate down there as well. Meanwhile, Immortals spawned and is in that top lane, starting to push forward here for Resurgence of the Storm. 2 fights breaking out here.
The push continues up here. The Immortal about half shield, so right now Perseus is looking around. There's the Cocoon coming out onto Sylvanas. Kira and Leoric still battling it out down there. Leoric still looking to be fairly healthy. Cocoon target does manage to get away. Now Wingman using that laser.
Very fast about breaking that Cocoon as well there. Not even time for them to really do anything off of it. They do get through that fort pretty easily. This front wall of the keep is going to be going down here as well, and still quite a bit of health left on this Immortal. But, you know, you also don't want to overstay your welcome in this top lane. They're about to have level 13s on the side of Strange Team Comp. They're taking a fight way overextended in the top lane. It's not a bad time for Strange Team Comp to try and force something here. May is going to go in with the icing. There's the stun coming out from Deathwing connecting onto Bricky. We have the high five connecting onto Bricky as well. And there's Malfurion using that ultimate, silencing a couple members there of Strange Team Comp, but he's going to go down for that. Bricky on the chase here. Cataclysm coming out from the Deathwing for disengage. Spectrum still wants more, is banshing into the enemy team to try and keep them down, but they're going to find a counter kill onto Mei. She goes down from the Deathwing.
Is that the lava
from the Deathwing damage there? Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even see. I was just tracking backwards. Kira did pick up a kill onto Leoric in the bottom lane during all that. Resurgence of the Storm. Uh-oh. They may be pressing their luck here. Wingman trying to get away. The Chromie damages a lot. There's the teleport. Trying to get away from Lucio. Basically impossible. That's going to be Li Ming going down. But they may have entered the wrong hallway here, as here comes Kira. Dr. Evil trying to back up. Perseus on the chase as well. Spectrum being pushed back. Uh-oh, Sio is here. Malfurion is here. Can Sylvanas get away? The wave is still not up and available yet. I don't even know if Sylvanas had the mana to cast it. But that's going to be Sylvanas going down here. A lot of back and forth there. The keep still stands by a thread. And it looks like Resurgence of the Storm wants to correct that.
Yeah, you can't not take this down, right? It's dead at this point. Deathwing's going to step forward, drop a little bit of damage. We're going to see it fall, right? There we go. Kira able to secure it here. Level 16's on the horizon here for Resurgence of the Storm. Next Immortal spawning in 10 seconds. We're seeing Li Ming over on the Bruiser camp of Resurgence of the Storm, getting a little bit of added pressure in the lanes while they can. You know, this is awkward positioning here for Strange Team Comp, because they are kind of in the position that they're going to be the ones that have to force something. They can't just sit back and play the defense. If they do that, they're going to have catapults starting to kind of build up in their lanes, and a lot of pressure building up in their lanes that they'll have to deal with, especially with this Bruiser camp taken now.
Looks like halftime will be pushed here by Resurgence of the Storm. They have their level 16s. A little bit more damage. There it is. Halftime is proc. Ice Wall not going to connect. Bricky was fishing for something there. Didn't quite land it. And we are going to be in north-south here. And with this, with the focus being in the top lane, that Shaman camp in the bottom lane is definitely going to start to do some work. It looks like Strange Team Comp, they're going to have to just give up this Immortal. Perseus gets the Burrow Charge on out of there. Look how low this Immortal is. Final Strike comes out, putting a little bit of damage onto Bricky. But there it is, over 30,000 shielding here for Resurgence of the Storm. Strange Team Comp, they were down, you know, they were down a talent. But they just... I felt like they had to try something there, because this keep is in a lot of danger here. They're going to have to come up with a huge defense now.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I'm not sure that either trying to defend your Immortal down a person as a 5v4 there was the play, or maybe you just try to get as much burn and take some of the shield off of the Immortal if you know you're not going to be able to really fight them there. But look to do something else instead of just dancing around the objective, because they ultimately accomplish nothing by walking around and watching the enemy team burn down the Immortal. Now they have a full health Immortal pushing onto their bottom keep here, and Resurgence of the Storm are looking to really capitalize off of it. There's the Ice Wall out onto a few members here of Resurgence of the Storm. May dropping the Blizzard after that. The Wailing Arrow goes out, trying to push them back here, and just the shields now falling off this Immortal. Spectrum gonna use those Banshees to get back behind safety and continue to shred down this Immortal. Michael in a little bit of trouble there. Tries to pop the ultimate to keep himself alive, but is going to fall here, and there's the keep falling down as well. About quarter health left on this Immortal before it goes down.
Strange Team Comp was putting up a pretty strong defense there. You see how healthy they all are. Leoric just couldn't quite get out of those sleepy roots fast enough. Going down there, Perseus going in onto Bricky will not find it. And it's, you know, doesn't look like the core is going to be the call in Resurgence of the Storm. This is going to be a long way out here against a Lucio. But maybe they can just sort of turn this around. They're going to try to back off here. A lot of them are mounted. Okay, looks like they're going to make their way out. Bricky on the chase. Lucio trying to catch up. Resurgence of the Storm do manage to escape. I wasn't sure it was going to be that easy there.
We're gonna have to send someone back soon here. There's 3 or 4 katas in that top lane that need to be cleared up. There's the ice wall out from Mei. Didn't manage to catch Susie though, so they're gonna secure that camp. Perseus goes in for the stun here. Leoric popping that ultimate, marching through the entire team, but is going to ultimately take a lot of damage in return. Down goes Leo and Lucio at the exact same time. Spectrum now on the retreat. Bricky trying to make his way out of there. We're gonna see Kira drop that ultimate, trying to find a last pick. Wingman getting chunked a little bit by the Chromie. The rest of the members looks like they're able to retreat, but is Resurgence going for a core call here?
The catapult's taken out, the shield's taken out 25%. They're going to go for it. Big silence. Malfurion's actually going to go down here. Bricky forcing back Severn. Kira is in all sorts of trouble. I don't think they have a core call here. There's Kira going down. C2D2 and Wingman, the only people left. The minion pressure did take the core down to 58%. But now, Strange Team Comp, they've got a way to get back into this, as it's over 30 seconds without Malfurion or Kira on the battlefield.
Really like to see them use the Sylvanas here to create a win condition. They don't have any structures down. Just at this point, pick a lane and run it down, open it up so that you at least have some way to go through if you can manage to get another team wipe.
I think that's the kind of call that I've seen from a few competitive teams in this sort of spot. Like, getting the Immortal is something you're going to be able to do, but if it just marches onto a lane with a defended fort, it's not going to get an awful lot done. Perseus gets over the wall with that burrow. Wingman managing to get away here. Strange Team Comp, they've got their lanes pretty well pushed out, so they're going to have the opportunity to keep up with this Immortal race.
Burning this one pretty quickly. This one likely going over here to the side of Strange Team Comp. But I love what Resurgence is doing. They're saying, okay, you won the Immortal. We're just going to find value elsewhere. We're going to take our Bruiser camp right now. That's going to create a ton of pressure in the bottom lane. Well, no, the Immortal's going down there, so it'll just match the Immortal. But, you know, at least they're doing something here to try and find value elsewhere on the map when they knew they're going to lose this one. Leoric's going to clear out that top lane. Deathwing's kind of hovering around up there as well. The rest of the team, Chromie's on her way down here. They're going to go ahead and try to push with this one.
Immortal is on the wall here. It is an 18-minute Immortal, so it's going to be doing a lot of damage here. Resurgence of the Storm, got to be careful. Sio manages to get away from the ice wall there, very nicely wiggled, as we now see Resurgence of the Storm start to back off. The Black Arrows are going to secure this fort. Resurgence of the Storm, all they needed to do there was not get picked, so mission accomplished there. We'll see whether they can pull it off again here at the keep wall.
You have all 5 members of Resurgence of the Storm here with their level 20 talents up and available. I doubt this Immortal gets much more than the front wall of this keep at this point. We're going to see the members of Strange Team Comp back off. Leoric still dealing with the pressure in top lane as Katas continue to create pressure up there for him.
Resurgence of the Storm starting to move over. Oh, this could be a contest over this camp. Resurgence of the Storm, they were thinking about it. Chromie spotted them on the way. So Strange Team Comp, gonna wait for a second. They are gonna go ahead and start picking up that right side Shaman, and the bottom camp will go over to Resurgence of the Storm. And at this point, Jazzalene, what does Strange Team Comp need to do here? The lane pressure is going to start building up very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in their hands to really try and force something here. They don't really have the luxury to sit around and wait for a misplay to come out of Resurgence of the Storm because, as you said, all of that lane pressure really in the favor of Resurgence of the Storm right now. So Resurgence is going to go ahead and clear up that top lane. Meanwhile, Strange Team Comp clearing out bottom. There's kind of trading, but keep in mind, they're down 2 keeps right now. So there's Katas on every single minion wave coming in here to pressure their waves. So if they just keep playing the cleanup crew, they're always going to be behind.
Resurgence of the Storm playing it careful right now. They want to let the map create the pressure for them. They have no reason to just run that Strange Team Comp in this position. They're just going to rotate safely, keep the lanes cleared, and wait for the objective to force Strange Team Comp into a decision here. So very well played by Resurgence of the Storm so far. Bricky coming in with the flank, though, maybe trying to force the issue here for Strange Team Comp.
I would have loved if they could have found him there. There's no fort for them to retreat to. They have quite a ways to get out of there if they did end up in an engage. And like I said, it's all kind of on Strange Team Comp to kind of force something right now with all the Kata pressure in the favor of Resurgence of the Storm. Here's the Immortals coming in. Do you have a siege camp up and available in the top lane? Wasn't sure if maybe Resurgence was eyeing that before the burn, but they're coming back down now to defend their Immortal here.
These constant catapults are going to start pushing the lanes here for Resurgence of the Storm, so Strange team comp, they want a fast fight if they can get it. Spectrum and Michaelin on the flanks here, looking for a way to get in there, and Resurgence of the Storm just turtled up underneath their Immortal. The longer that Strange team comp waits, the more in trouble they're going to be. We see Leoric already headed to the top lane, has to deal with those catapults. Resurgence of the Storm see it, they're going to move on to the Immortal race.
And that's exactly how they should be playing that here. You know you have to clean up that lane pressure at some point. Somebody's going to show in the lane, and at that point, you know that you're up the numbers and you go ahead for the push onto the Immortal. Perseus getting a little bit chunked here. We have the boop coming out from Lucio. Twilight Dream being popped by Malfurion. Malfurion is going down, though. He's going to get picked off by Mei. C2D2 in a little bit of trouble, popping the Cataclysm, but not able to fly on out of there. 2-for-0 in favor of Strange team comp. This is looking pretty good if they want to try and turn this map around at this point. Halftime hit there on the Immortal. 3 members left up on Resurgence of the Storm. Let's see what they can do.
Again, I'd love to see them just jump onto a keep here. They're going to go for a Shaman Camp steal. There's the final strike hit. Li Ming going to throw in some damage onto the point. Bricky does get the scout there. They're going to grab the camp. They're going to move back. It looks like they're going to go ahead and do their race once again. It's a long way till they're finished this. 30 seconds till we see Deathwing and Malfurion return. Leoric is cleaning up that top lane, so the Immortal won't be missing a wave. Yeah, they get the kills, and all they can really do is push this objective.
I would have loved to just see them go straight for that bottom keep, open that up. They might not have been able to end, but death timers are pretty long here that they would have been able to get the keep down, maybe a little bit of core damage, but at least have themselves a wide open win condition on the map here, because clearly they've shown they can win some of these team fights. So they just, you know, get that keep down, win another team fight, and then win the game.
Gonna be about 12,000 health on this objective as it pushes through the top fort of Resurgence of the Storm. The cannon towers are still up and available. It's a Strange team comp. They don't have a ton to do here.
Yeah, no, I just want to see them go take that bottom keep. Just go pressure that. This Immortal is not really much left on it. It's got to get through an entire fort and an entire keep before you look to trying to win with it. So I don't know that they're going to get too much value out of pushing with it, especially with a 5-man defense here from Resurgence of the Storm. But they could just go for that bottom keep. They already have the wall down. They have Sylvanas to shut it down. See an Ice Wall come out from Mei. They want to pressure on with the help of this Immortal here. See if they can make it work for them. The Bellowing Roar comes out from C2D2. We have the Cocoon onto Leoric. Mei getting caught in that root. They get the fort down. Little over half health left on this Immortal. See if they can do or get through this keep with it.
C2D2 trying to set up those warding Deathwing abilities. About half health on the Immortal. Spectrum going right in there with the Haunting Wave, trying to put damage onto Perseus. C2D2 trying to clear away this Immortal with that Molten Breath. And it looks like this keep will go mostly undamaged here. Resurgence of the Storm. I mean, they were a lot further ahead not too long ago. They still have both their keeps. Oh no, Leoric backed. Oh, this could be trouble here. Resurgence of the Storm is moving onto this top camp. Strange team comp is trying to back up here. Perseus does not connect. Severn on the edge is going to stop Bricky from mounting.
Here comes the Cataclysm from Deathwing. Not quite able to close the distance, but a little bit closer here to the members of Strange team comp. They've now chased across the entire map and have yet to log down any of the members of Strange team comp. Safe to say, they're safe here.
Resurgence of the Storm felt a little bit hesitant there. I don't think they knew where Leoric was on the map, so they didn't want to completely overchase there. C2D2 finds the double stun to back on up. Wow, very, very back and forth here. Both teams wanting to make absolutely sure before they pull the trigger here.
Cruiser camp being started now by Strange team comp. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Bottom siege camp up and available as well. Looks like Resurgence of the Storm are going to pick that one up. And still these lanes, because of those katas, are over in favor of Resurgence of the Storm. A lot of clear needs to happen here for Strange team comp. And then they need to, again, try to force something.
Dr. Evil moving across here. Resurgence of the Storm staying safe on their side of the map. Looks like bottom lane is going to be cleared away by Strange team comp here. Resurgence of the Storm going to take out the Shaman camp in the top lane. Kind of resetting the map once again. So far, Strange team comp has been coming out ahead in these late game objective fights. We'll see if that continues to be the case. Because, you know, too many kills on one side or the other, that could be game. These keeps don't mean an awful lot at the 26-minute mark.
Strange Team Comp is doing a really good job just holding on here, making sure that Resurgence of the Storm can't find the end that they're looking for time and time again. But here we are, once again, this is all on Strange Team Comp to force something, because Resurgence can just sit back and let that cata pressure build here in favor of them in their lanes.
A little bit of chip damage going on to the Immortal here. Michaelin has set up in the bush, but will be spotted by Wingman. Perseus looking for an opportunity to go in. You see Leoric taking a little bit of damage on the edge there, but not too much to heal off. Catapult pressure in the top lane is starting to build. There's 2 catapults in the bottom lane versus 1. For Resurgence of the Storm, Leoric once again has to show in lane. Resurgence is going to go in again. Bricky gets the icing on out of there. Cocoon comes out onto Chromie. This could be the opportunity that they need. Ice Wall is going to stop the Malfurion. Root comes out. It's going to take too long, though. Jackashlu gets into the stasis. Siu putting that silence down, but it's not going to be enough. Counter silence by Sylvanas. Perseus could be in a world of hurt here. Severn is the first to go down on Kira. Perseus trying to get the last hits here onto Spectrum, and it looks like Strange Team Comp once again coming out ahead in these fights. C2D2 trying to get away with the Cataclysm, will do so.
And those are some clutch high fives there. I don't know if you saw the high five going out onto Mei to avoid the roots onto both Lucio and Mei as they were pushing forward, trying to find the kills onto C2D2. You're gonna see the side of Strange Team Comp go ahead, turn back onto the Immortals here, continue the race. Only 1 kill here for them, though. And look at the backdoor setup that's happening by Resurgence of the Storm right now.
Deathwing in the air. Kira will not be able to join. There's 3 catapults here, though. Right now, Strange Team Comp is looking around, trying to find Resurgence of the Storm. There it is. They're going to show on the wave. Members are starting to back here. Spectrum, Jackashlu, they're on the way. The core is now being damaged. Leoric is up and back onto the core here. Z2D2 breathing. The shielding is starting to go down. Bellowing Roar is going to push away the Leoric. The core shielding is gone. 45%. There's the Ice Wall going to land onto the Deathwing. Deathwing going to go down here. It's a triple kill. Malfurion and Leeming down as well. Perseus trying to get those beetles onto the core. 17%. And that's going to be a defense. Catapults are going to be taken care of. 16% remains on the core. The top wave is still pushing. Kira's, oh my goodness, Severn is on the way. Kira's on the way to try to push in these 2 catapults. Strange Team Comp, they're working on this race. We'll see if they see it. Kira's on the core here. Severn is going for it. There's the final strike, 15%. The wave is here, 12% on the core. The catapults are caught on the members of Strange Team Comp, 11%. Only 4 taken off by Kira there, but buying time for the rest of the team on Resurgence of the Storm to res.
This is rough, though. I mean, even if they come back up 11% on the core with this Immortal, I'm interested to see if they're just going to try and backdoor again and ignore the Immortal, try to go for a base race.
I think they're going to have to put up a defense here. Leoric is clearing away the top lane, so they're not going to have that wave pressure. Ricky moving up and trying to get some damage onto this bottom keep. Resurgence of the Storm, they're 25 seconds without Kira, which is enough time before the Immortal gets here. They're trying to move across the map. They're going to get caught here. Oh no, Wingman and Siu have been discovered. Malfurion is down. Wingman manages to get away. Michaelin on the chase. Cannot catch up to Li Ming. There goes Perseus across the map once again. There's Perseus 2 catapults, Doctor. Perseus is going for it, getting the beetles out. Deathwing dropping down as well. Li Ming coming across the map. C2D2 is here. Can they bring enough damage? There's the Molten Breath on the core. Leoric trying to get those swipes onto C2D2. Deathwing has to drop the Cataclysm. Will go down here. Wingman trying to put the combos onto the core. The shielding is almost down. Perseus is attacking away. No, Wingman is down. Perseus, the beetles are working on it. Will it go down? 1% core.
Oh my god. And now an Immortal on the core of Resurgence of the Storm.
The Immortal is going to end the game on the other side. Strange Team Comp holds on with the 1% and picks up their first victory of this best of 5. GG.
Oh, what a way to kick off the series. Could it be any closer?
Oh my goodness. Well.
Chat. No way I'm seeing this right now. Wow. Well,
1%.
that was a very That's a very exciting first game to kick the series off here tonight. Resurgence of the Storm really kind of felt like they were in control most of the game, but late game Strange Team Comp kind of turning it around, winning those late game team fights time after time here, and managing to start to come back. And I mean, 1% left on the core of Strange Team Comp. Resurgence of the Storm that close to finishing out this game one, but ultimately going over to the side of Strange Team Comp. GG's and well played.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm taking a look here. I mean, Resurgence of the Storm, they had it through the early game. They had to keep pressure, but Strange Team Comp did everything they needed to do just to hang on. They didn't overextend. They got their lanes cleared. They found the fights that they wanted. Man, so close. Like, one more little beetle nibble.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone's like, all right, who didn't hit the core one time during all those times we pushed onto it?
Over those 30 minutes, one of you didn't hit the core once.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, just that's the closest game I've ever seen, I think. Unbelievable attempts from Resurgence of the Storm. They gave it more tries than I would have. I would have tried to set up a defense and go for it there. They just right-clicked on the core, tried to move across the map. They knew they needed just enough, and Strange Team Comp, they had it, and they pick up game number one. I don't know what else to say about it. Really, really nice.
Very entertaining for us, at least, to cast a game like that.
My goodness. We'll take a quick look here at the talents. See if there's anything. We did see, you know, the full March of the Black King. Oh, we didn't quite have the full one. Usually you see the Q on one, but going with the Drain talents, going with the March of the Black King for that late game power spike, definitely working out there for Leoric. Other than that, everything's looking pretty standard here for talents.
Yeah, nothing too surprising from either of these teams here. You sometimes see Mind Control picked up on Sylvanas, but it's not like you can hit it on Deathwing. It could have maybe worked, but Wailing Arrow just as good. You know, there's a lot of people that are looking to use abilities to get these kills, so having a silence on them is pretty decent here.
Yeah, getting the shutdown on Li Ming and Malfurion, I definitely like. Good choice there. Alrighty, well, we're waiting for our next lobby. I think we're going to take a little break, rest the voices a little, get some more water. But when we come on back, it's going to be game number 2, Resurgence of the Storm versus Strange Team Comp. Sit tight. Alrighty, welcome back. We are getting set up here for Game 2 here in the Division B Grand Finals. Resurgence of the Storm going down to Strange Team Comp in about the closest match I've ever seen there, Jazzy.
Yeah, that was a crazy one. What a great one to kick it off on. 1% left on the core of Strange Team Comp when they closed out game number 1 on Battlefield of Eternity. Now I can't wait to see what the rest of the series get. I mean, is it all downhill from here? Does it get any better than a 1% core finish?
It's going to be interesting to see as we get set up here for game number 2. We're going to be going to Infernal Shrines. Resurgence of the Storm choosing first pick. So Strange Team Comp is going to have Infernal Shrines here for game number 2. Probably not going to see Kira on Shrines if I had to hazard a guess. There's a lot of wave clear that's got to be done in these 3-lane maps. Though the Kira did look very, very strong there. So I mean, if you're comfortable enough on a hero, you tend to make them fit in any kind of situation you want.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that's just like a big comfort pick that maybe we see a target ban from Strange Team Comp. Maybe they run it anyways. I personally like having somebody that can double soak on Infernal Shrines. So even though that off lane is all the way in the top part of the map, if your off laner can come and cover mid, it means that you can contest that bottom siege camp and even those mid siege camps a little bit more easily. So it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do here. Let's go ahead and jump into the draft.
Draft is up and running. To see what our teams will have for us here as we get into it once again. I'm interested to see whether the bans are going to shift at all. One of my favorite things in these best of fives is seeing how the bans and picks tend to evolve over the course of the series once you get to know another team, especially two teams that have very likely never played against each other before. So they're going to have, you know, their info from, you know, the rest of the season. But, you know, when you get beat with something a couple times or something looks really good, maybe, you know, you just adjust a little bit. And I like to see those adjustments.
Pick with that Varian ban for the first ban out of the side of Resurgence of the Storm. We saw that in game number 1. Let's see if they're going to stick with the same thing. Yeah, they are Hogger coming out here for the first ban from Strange Team Comp.
Resurgence probably looking at the Stukov once again. I mean, the roaming pick comp, there's not really a map where it doesn't work out. Infernal Shrines is definitely one where there's a lot of movement between mid and bot. Varian and Stukov, even Garrosh, Diablo, these kind of heroes can get in there and definitely disrupt stuff, do some damage. So we are going to see the same bans coming on out from Resurgence of the Storm. See if Strange Team Comp, what did they ban last time? I'm trying to remember their second.
They got rid of Cassia.
It was
as their
Cassia, yeah.
second ban.
We'll have to see whether that's the case again.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. They did technically win, but at the same time, Resurgence of the Storm was kind of, you know, in control of the map for the majority of the game. It wasn't until late game that we saw Strange Team Comp really come in line. They're going to go ahead and get rid of Sonya, and that's going to leave Cassia up. So there we go. That was likely a target ban on top of just a decent hero ban from the side of Strange Team Comp in game number 1, as we see the Resurgence of the Storm lock in Cassia here.
Cassia picked up by Severn, our previous Kira player. So looks like a little bit of a different strategy coming on through from Resurgence of the Storm there. Raka coming in with the raid. Hope you had a good time on your cast. Welcome everyone. We are getting started here with game number 2 as Jockishlu going back to the Chromie. Dr. Evil picking up the Lucio again. They looked pretty strong and comfortable with that comp, did Strange Team Comp. So yeah, might as well pick it again here. There's no reason that these two can't work on Shrines just as well as Battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, their entire draft from game number 1 would be perfectly fine on Shrines. They take the Mei. She can zone pretty well here. Oh, I love this. We're actually going to see Resurgence of the Storm steal away that Mei before Strange Team Comp can find it themselves. And pairing it with the Malfurion as well. I do like this too because those roots and then the Blizzard from Mei can pair and synergize really nicely together.
Mei taken away here by Perseus. Malfurion can, you know, be a bit of a nuisance for Lucio, just putting down a big no-go zone when Lucio wants to wiggle around as much as possible. Still waiting for an offlane option from Resurgence of the Storm. We'll see if Strange Team Comp further reduces that. They're going to take out the Mephisto here. Just been a little bit of an Infernal Shrine special when it comes to heroes. I don't really see Mephisto anywhere else.
Yeah, he can be an annoying hero. He can get in there, get some poke done, clear some of the shrine away. Top of that, he scales so well into the late game and can really just chunk down your front line. once he gets into those like level 16 area. We're gonna see another ban here coming out from the side of Resurgence of the Storm, and they're gonna get rid of Garrosh.
Garrosh ban, I mean, Mei doesn't have too much of a problem with Garrosh, but Mei also has some very long cooldowns, so if Garrosh is mindful of those and gets a good throw into the back line, it can definitely be a problem. Diablo a little bit more forward than Garrosh would be. It's an interesting pickup there. Mei being able to bring in the blinds, Cassia with the blinds, Malfurion roots. I feel like we're probably going to see a W build Diablo to try to move up, reduce some of that damage, and possibly even bring in the Lightning Breath to zone and create some space for Chromie.
Yeah, I would say definitely... I wouldn't be going auto attack here. There's just too many blinds to kind of ruin that build here, so I'm not going to be surprised at all if it is a Fire Stomp build from Diablo. Whether that means we're going to see Lightning Breath, I don't know. I personally just think APOC is such an easy lockdown on a target to do your APOC combo, and you at least get one person caught out. Sylvanas locked in with it as well. We saw Sylvanas in game number 1. She's going to provide some great additional pressure when pushing with the Punishers here on Infernal Shrines. Meanwhile, over on the side of Resurgence of the Storm, Gul'dan and Malthael locked in, both of them providing very excellent shrine clear here. But I will say their front line looking a little lacking right now. Mei the only hero that can really kind of stand up and tank for her team here. Malthael more of a squishier bruiser.
I had a feeling there might be a Zeratul coming with this backline setup, picked up there by Michael, and going to be... I mean, Cassia is pretty hardy, Malfurion not so much, Gul'dan. It's tough when you try to connect that drained life, because Zeratul just blinks away and disconnects it. So
yeah. They also have a nice combo set up here as well. If you take in Void Prison into the Apocalypse, those can time very nicely together. You drop a Wailing Arrow on top of all of that, and just the Chromie damage to follow it up as well. Even dropping a Slowing Sands on top of the Void Prison and where you're going to drop your APOC can kind of lock them down even more. So they do have that little bit of scary wombo combo potential happening over on the side of Strange Team Comp here.
It'll be an interesting setup. There's a lot of things that can go wrong here for Resurgence of the Storm, but they do have, you know, they've got the lockdown and the damage to get their target if they can find it. So we'll see if they can make it happen here. Once again, on the left in the blue, we have Resurgence of the Storm with Severn on the Cassia, Perseus playing the Mei, C2D2 on the Malthael, Siu back on the Malfurion, and Wingman is on the Gul'dan.
All right, and over on the right-hand side, we're going to see Dr. Evil on the Lucio, Spectrum playing Sylvanas, Bricky on the Diablo, Mikolan will be on Zeratul, and Jakashlu on the Chromie for the side of Strange Team Comp.
A little bit of a split here. Chromie and Zeratul in the bottom lane. Gonna move onto the bottom wall. We've got Sylvanas and Diablo on the top wall, while Lucio trying to cut off the rotation from C2D2. Looks like the bottom lane, they're gonna just grab that well. The top lane, they're gonna get a little bit of the tower here. Spectrum getting the last couple shots in. Diablo gonna push back the Angel of Death. Perseus not quite gonna catch the Sylvanas. And bottom well's down. Nice opening salvo there from Strange Team Comp.
I love, you know, when you pick a map pick, I like to see so they have some kind of strategy here, and they already had it right from the beginning of the game. Let's look like we're cheesing top, and while you guys make it seem like we're going to cheese top, we're actually going to go take that fountain down bottom. And, you know, that's going to be a little bit of a hassle for the side of Resurgence of the Storm. It means in times that they end up in a fight or a contest over that bottom siege camp, they don't have a fountain that they can just retreat to, tap, and re-engage. They're going to just have to full on back or head up to mid lane to hit the fountain there instead. And lucky for them, though, the first shrine's all the way up in top lane, so they don't have to worry about it being near objective.
Well, yeah, look, if it was in the bottom lane, that would mean, you know, Strange Team Comp made the best possible play there. But it will be effective in later pushes as well, because the top lane objective, of course, means that the top lane will be the first to be pushed. So the advantage gained by taking out that well will just wait to be used, as the rotations will come out from both sides. No one looking at that bottom camp just yet. Just looking to get the clear here in the mid.
I was a bit surprised I didn't see Resurgence just go straight onto that, because they had Vision of Strange Team Comp clearing out the mid camp, but it looks like they've just rotated up to clear out the camp that Strange Team Comp just capped, which is going to give them a bit of a window of opportunity here to potentially catch them on the rotation or even start that bottom camp up themselves. We do have Lucio warding that bush, Bricky rotating over now to see if he can find anyone. The stun goes out onto Mei. Mei icing out of the flip there just a little bit to avoid Diablo pushing her into unfavorable positioning here. That bottom siege camp still up and available. We're almost hitting the 30-second marker here for this first Punisher to come up, and Bruiser camps should be getting started here just in a moment.
Looks like C2D2 going to try to solo this top camp. Oh, Cassia going to come on through. I was like, I don't know if Malthiel picks up that camp solo here at level 5. It would have been close, but saving a little bit of the health there is Severn. We see Strange Team Comp doing the same over on the right. And this is going to be an interesting scenario with this objective. C2D2 is actually going to start here. I was thinking Malthiel might just go and try to double soak versus Zeratul, but Resurgence of the Storm just going to jump straight onto this objective and try to get a quick lead.
We're going to see Zeratul continuing to soak here. This first Punisher, Frozen Punisher, so they might be able to get a little bit more value than just the front wall out of this if they can find themselves with a nice push. But Bricky is just getting shredded here. Goes ahead and cues onto the Mei to get out of there. That poison damage is on him. Lucio's going to be able to keep him alive, and he's going to hearth back home to safety. Zeratul continues to soak it up. 10 skeletal defenders here for the side of Resurgence of the Storm as they continue to shred down this objective here.
Wingman being pushed back there by Sylvanas and Lucio. Right now, Perseus trying to get some last hits, but only 17 minions taken overall here. Gul'dan has been dealing with the lane and unable to help out with this objective. So, all said and done, Strange Team Comp, they're pretty close on this objective. Zeratul was soaking the off during all that. I feel like they come out ahead so far.
I'm just going to have to see what happens. There's Bricky going in for the stun, but gets caught in the root sleep to follow that up. Getting chunked down. Sovereign going in for the Fen to try and finish him off, but Bricky is able to walk away with the help of Lucio, giving him a little bit of speed boost out of there. Resurgence of the Storm able to push their way back onto the shrine. 29-22 in skeletal defenders in favor of Resurgence. 10 more until they secure this objective, but Bricky doesn't want to give it over too easy. Goes in. Also has Spectrum in there as well. Here's the temporal loop out from Chromie. Not quite able to find the finish here. Everybody's health bar is just getting so low. It's going to be Gul'dan that goes down first. Sylvanas falls. Chromie to follow that up. Bricky going for the stun onto Perseus. And now they're lacking their damage here. Everybody's health bar is over on the side of Resurgence of the Storm so low, but with just Lucio around to help them finish this off, they're struggling here. They target the healer first. I love that call. And this Punisher ultimately goes over to the side of Resurgence of the Storm. Gonna go ahead and get that leap onto Diablo, the Blizzard to follow up on top of that. He's just getting punched around by the Immortal. Meanwhile, Lucio does get picked off by Cassia. Zeratul and Diablo looking to back off now. You need to be a bit careful. This Punisher is going to really hurt.
Oh my goodness. Punisher has turned off the fort here. Spectrum coming on through. Sylvanas should be able to help clear that away. Right now, Malthiel's solo taking the bottom camp. We'll see if Michaelin spots that out. So far, not checking here. Top objective is being cleared away. It looks like it will not get the fort. Bottom camp has been taken. Michaelin still clearing the lanes here. And this is where I think Resurgence of the Storm can get ahead. Malthiel, a lot cleaner and faster of a double soaker than Zeratul. I was surprised, honestly, that Malthiel went after the first objective early.
It's a great shrine clear as well, so maybe they're just trying to race it down as fast as they can, but if Zeratul is going to continue to double soak, then somebody needs to match him, and that's who better than the Malthiel here.
I've done a bit of, double soak Gul'dan in my day, and I love to play Gul'dan in quick match, and I'm often end up as the offlaner, as tends to happen in all assassin quick match comps.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Ice Wall comes out, is actually going to catch Sylvanas. Perseus drops down. The Fear comes out as well. Nice sound barrier though from Lucio. Silences and ults abound, and it looks like a full disengage here as Michaelin's looking for Wingman. Finds, oh my goodness. Gonna drop it. There's the 8-block onto 4. Oh my goodness, Gul'dan and Cassia both go down here. Michaelin trying to get away from Perseus. The cleave is in. Can Zeratul stay alive? Looks like yes. Mei goes down. Diablo's soul reset. My goodness, the amount of kills so far in this game is very, very high.
There's the Void Prison APOC combo we were talking about before we got into this match here. Very well executed by the side of Strange Team Comp. They weren't under enemy towers. I mean, Diablo lives there, and they get a couple kills and walk away. Sylvanas going to go ahead and use that trait, shut down the bottom four, try to get some push in while those death timers and the members of Resurgence of the Storm are spawning back in. Lucio back behind enemy lines. A little bit out of position here. Sovereign coming in, trying to catch up here. Wingman looking for a little bit of damage, but he's out of there. Easy peasy. Malthael continuing to soak out mid, meeting Diablo there, and Zeratul up in that top lane as well. Both these teams looking for those level 13s here. Very, you know, both of them pretty even on XP. Not too much of a lead either way here.
It's felt like Strange Team Comp has been coming out ahead so far in the fights, but very even is the kill count, very even is the map state. So, I mean, I feel like the late game, oh, that's tough. Cassius scales really well into the late game. Malfurion's healing gets very strong in the late game. I mean, I think Zeratul Chromie ends up ahead when you're post 16, but oh, this is, I feel like it's going to be close the whole game through.
Level 13s are online here. This next Punisher is going to be spawning in the mid, but meanwhile, Resurgence of the Storm going ahead and taking down that top fort. There's a fear being popped. Here's the Void Prison out from Zeratul. They have the Apocalypse, and they're going to catch no one there, but the Silence does connect onto Perseus. Going to be able to pop into the Cryo Freeze to get some health back. That's basically, you know, most of the ultimate Strange Team Comp have in their kit for these team fights blown here before this objective comes up. Just the Horrify down and Ball Lightning over on the side of Resurgence of the Storm. So they still have that Ice Wall, Malfurion, Twilight Dream to kind of maybe set something up for their team here. And they're going to go ahead and start the burn on this shrine as well.
Wingman finally able to actually get onto these shrine minions, and now they're starting to go down with a quickness. Strange Team Comp looking for a flank here as Malthael is still clearing away the top lane. Here comes Bricky. Nice job by Resurgence of the Storm to back up here. Gul'dan got to get a little bit of drain here. Oh, Bricky finds the flip stun onto Malthael. They have walked into the wrong neighborhood here. Ice Wall will not catch. There's the last rites. Oh, nice sound barrier from Dr. Evil. Denies the last rites of Malthael. Spectrum trying to get away here as well. Great saves coming on out from Strange Team Comp. They did manage to get a couple of extra of these Shrine minions, but it's looking like Resurgence of the Storm is going to pick themselves up another Punisher here.
You know, a little shout out here to the Lucio player. Dr. Evil, both this game and the last game, has been making some beautiful saves for his team. I would almost consider maybe think about taking Lucio away from the side of Strange Team Comp instead of that Stukov.
It's tough. I mean, maybe just to switch things up, make them switch up that playstyle, but maybe they've seen enough Stukovs go down as we see Void Prison is going to connect here. Apocalypse comes out. There's the stun onto 3. Look at all that Chromie damage. It's a triple kill coming on through from Strange Team Comp. They make it a quad. They're going to lose their fort, but they pick up a ton of kills there, and they're well ahead on their path to level 20.
Now they find themselves their 16s here. Now a full level up on experience to Resurgence of the Storm. Let's see what they do with this death timer, though. C2D2 went ahead and took the siege camp in mid, is now catching the soak bottom. I'm interested to see if they're going to push down a structure here. They have Sylvanas. I always like to just run it down with her trait when you can. With 4 members down, I would have liked to see that, but they're going to go ahead and pick up the siege camp in mid as well. Bottom siege camp up and available. But by the time they get down there, everybody over on the side of Resurgence of the Storm is back up here.
Cyclone doing some damage to the top lane here. C2D2 has to come up to respond. You see the mid push going to be cleared away here by Resurgence of the Storm, but here comes Bricky and Jockishlu from the bottom lane. Resurgence of the Storm has done a really good job to not get caught in these rotations so far, but I mean, trying to get away from a Zeratul VP is very, very difficult. They're going to have to watch their spacing for the rest of this game.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say they really need to make sure that they're not clumping for these beautiful Void Prisons that Zeratul has been finding, because that's just really setting up the entire combo. You got everyone unlocked for the Apocalypse to come out on top of that, the Wailing Arrow to come out on top of that, and Chromie just burning a ton of damage through everyone there. So just like you said, they just really need to watch that they're spreading out. They're not giving these opportune times for Zeratul to just kind of pop out of nowhere, land those void prisons, and be like, aha, gotcha.
Bottom lane is going to be cleared away here. Zeratul still pushing away that top lane. Going to start to rotate through. Look for another one of those VPs as that cooldown is up and available. Michaelin, I think they see on this camp. Not going to go in just yet as we see Strange Team Comp just going to go after their own shaman here. But all said and done, there's only the bottom lane fort that's down on the side of Resurgence of the Storm here. And with the objective in the top lane, they've got the advantage on this next objective.
I mean, fortunately for Strange Team Comp, that fountain's still hanging on up there for the time being, so they do at least have that to help them in this next objective. But it'll be a little bit rough not having a structure there. They don't have that little safety zone to fall back to if Resurgence of the Storm pushes forward onto them. Sylvana's going to go ahead, clear out that top lane. There's 2 bruiser camps kind of crashing up there right now. The rest of the members also kind of rotating up that way. C2D2 clearing out.
They were looking for a cheeky fort down there in the bottom lane, but Strange Team Comp was the wiser. Went in for the defense. Right now, Zeratul
there we go.
doing some more split pushing in the bottom lane. Well is going to be taken out here in the top lane. Strange Team C2D2 is going to start to back here, so it is going to be a 4v4 in the top lane for now. We'll see if Zeratul gets back here before Malthael does, as our next shrine is up and available now.
I think Zeratul comes up here. You have your Void Prison APOC combo off cooldown right now. You look for that. Right here he is. Look at that. All clumped again. 3 members caught in the Void Prison. Here comes the APOC from Diablo. We're going to see May in the cryo freeze. But the Gul'dan getting burst down quite quickly here. Ice Wall comes out, connects onto the Diablo and the Zeratul. Both of them able to just walk away without the damage from Gul'dan around. Looks like not really much they can do off that, and Cassie was kind of left in a little bit of awkward positioning, kind of retreating on the flank there. I'm gonna see Malthael getting a little bit of damage out onto Dr. Evil, but nothing really too much to be found there. They get their pick onto Gul'dan. They're gonna go ahead and start the burn on this shrine. Almost sitting at 20 skeletal defenders, 18 right now.
Diablo getting dove on here. Bricky being forced back. There's the silence. Last Rites comes out. That's going to be Diablo going down here. That is a soul reset. So Diablo going to make their way back onto the battlefield here. Resurgence of the Storm going to start their clear here. They know that without VP, Strange Team Comp doesn't have the same level of engage here. So even with Gul'dan lagging behind, they're going to take the opportunity to start moving ahead on this objective. Bricky is back. Gul'dan is not here yet. Michael going in with some huge cleaves. Hellgate combo comes on out onto Siu. That's going to be Malfurion going down here. C2D2 being chased out as well as Cassia falls. Michael cleaving for all that he's worth. Malthael, Zeratul. There goes May. Wingman with nowhere left to go. Bricky with the flip. And that's going to be Gul'dan going down as a 5-for-1 ace coming on through from Strange Team Comp.
Nice play there by Strange Team Comp. I was wondering if they'd still be able to get the picks that they needed without their combo up, but they showed me that they can, and they secured themselves a nice Arcane Punisher here in the top lane. With Sylvanas to shove this down, and a nice long death timers here for the side of Resurgence of the Storm. They're going to get a ton out of this one.
Push in the top lane is coming through strong. That Hellgate combo from Bricky onto Siu was a thing of beauty. The Malfurion does have that Nature's Cure on level 7 to try to get rid of those stuns, but Malfurion, if you're stunned, you can't cast it. So it's a great targeting there. They find the vital part of Resurgence of the Storm's comp, and now they're going to lose a keep for it. I don't know if this is core. I mean, 20 is not quite here. It looks like Strange Team Comp is not going to risk it here. Instead, they're going to rotate through and try to open up this map a little bit more and hold on to their advantage.
I'm not a Strange Team Comp. They like to play it slow. They don't like to do any aggressive structure plays. That Punisher still had 80% health left on it, and they're just like, nah, not right now.
They are going to grab the mid fort. That's going to make rotations on the map a lot easier for them. Right now, Resurgence of the Storm, they've got their 20s. So we'll see if they can have the opportunity to actually move out onto the map at all here. C2D2 is moving across, looking to scout here in the mid. It looks like Resurgence of the Storm wants to force a fight on this right side Shaman camp. They're going to have to do it quickly. Moving across here, they're still off vision. C2D2 going to go ahead and start this up. Right now, Strange Team Comp thinking about rotating up here. There's the Chromie Scout. Nice job using that level 1 Time Walker's Pursuit. Resurgence of the Storm, they get the clear. Can they get away? Michaelin going for the spike. Can't quite get it.
We're going to see Resurgence just back off, look to clean up their lanes here. They are pressured here in all 3 lanes. A siege camp in the mid to be cleared up, and a bit of katas that are starting to build up in that bottom lane for them to clear as well. Pick up their bruiser camp while they're at it. Meanwhile, siege camps are available here. Looks like Lucio and Sylvanas starting up the mid one. Zeratul grabbing that bottom one in the meantime.
A lot of pressure here between mid and bot being created by Strange Team Comp. Top is going to be pushed out with that Shaman camp. So Strange Team Comp is going to have to deal with that eventually, but it looks like they're going to try to guide these minions in a little bit. Try to create a little bit of pressure. Lucio watching the flanks here, and this is honestly surprising. I didn't expect Strange Team Comp to really step up to this wall, especially with top lane going Resurgence of the Storm's way.
I am a bit surprised just because of the way they've been playing last game and this game. They tend to take a little bit more slow pace for the game in terms of trying to find that end. They prefer to try and, you know, fight around that objective and then try to end with it. So I'm surprised to see them step up here, but they did have that combo up, so it was likely that Zeratul just looking for that Void Prison if they can find it, and if not, they just walk away here and now look to clean up top lane.
I don't dislike the idea of, like, just make an aggressive move and make the enemy make a mistake there. They didn't overcommit to the push. They waited on the outside. They were looking for a flank with Lucio and said, if they step out, we'll get them. Otherwise, we'll just go ahead and back off here. Their fights on top of the objectives have been superior so far, so it looks like they're just going to go ahead and lean on that to go ahead to move out forward and try to end this game.
Surgeons of the Storm trying to take down that bottom fort while they can. Next objective is down here. Looks like Strange Team Comp positioning in that top lane. They're going to show off this minion wave, so Resurgence knows where they are right now. So I don't know if they're trying to, like, bait a back, like, we're going to backdoor you and then make them leave objective, but it's not working because Resurgence is hanging around the objective and now they're backing off to go clean their lanes.
Yeah, there's just not enough pressure up there. I mean, they now have the pressure of constant catapults in the top lane that will have to be answered at some point, but this objective is definitely more of a concern here. This Resurgence of the Storm is starting to clear. Perseus going to check and find Bricky, and this is where it all comes down. Can the VP come on through? Can the Apocalypse combo land? As we now are at 25 minions. Resurgence of the Storm has good clear. Bricky's going to go in there. Perseus starting to back off. Zeratul looking for some kind of a flank here as C2D2 and Wingman trying to stay apart. There's the VP is actually going to land onto 2. Apocalypse comes on out. Unstoppable lands. Siu trying to turn this around. There's a huge silence onto 3, but Gul'dan is going to be the first to fall, followed by Lucio and Diablo. Another soul reset there. Severn with that armor chases down Spectrum. That's going to be Sylvanas falling. Jagashlu and Michaelin are scattered here. Siu, a little bit low here. Michaelin looking to shark through on the edge. Severn, C2D2 going to start to move back. Can Zeratul get away here? No, Zeratul goes down. Perseus stays alive. And we've got ourselves a Frozen Punisher pushing down the bottom lane. Resurgence of the Storm hangs on.
Resurgence finding themselves here with an opportunity to try to close out this game. Getting that pick on Zeratul staggers the deaths enough here that they might just be able to push through this keep with the help of a Frozen Punisher, try and find themselves a win right now. I mean, this is what you kind of want to do at this point. You have that top lane Katas pushing forward, so they need to make something work. If they can get a pick, that would be even better here. Bricky getting caught out, getting chunked down. There's the last rites coming out from the Malthael, and he gets picked off. Still about 60% health left on this Punisher as they start to focus this keep down. Jakashlu getting that Punisher jump out, kiting it towards mid keep to get a little bit of damage. This is a slow burn on this this keep, and they're making
this without Gul'dan.
They're kind of lacking a little bit of structure damage here to try and push for it. Punisher still up. Zeratul's coming up. 38 seconds on the Diablo. It's gonna be rough.
Gul'dan is starting to come on through here. Stasis from Chromie. Dr. Evil, the shield is actually not going to land here. Shield on the core is gone. Severn in the backline trying to do work, but Cassia goes down here. Gul'dan has joined the fight. There's the Horrify onto 2. Oh my goodness, Lucio is down. Jockishlu on the edge doing so much work. Spectrum is going to fall to the last rights, and there's the ace. Oh, Sofana's going to fall here. Poor Malthael going to slap his little sides on the core, but Resurgence of the Storm fight back and pick up the win in game number 2. Unexpected.
Those katas really came in at the end there to kind of get that extra bit of core damage in there to help them finish it off, because it was really a slow burn there with Malthael and Cassia. It was just looking like it was taking forever here, but the katas, Gul'dan showed up. They were able to take it down here in game number 2, going over to the side of Resurgence of the Storm, which means we have a series on our hands.
Boy, 1-1 here. Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize Gul'dan wasn't with the push. I mean, between Malthael, Malfurion, and Mei, not a whole lot of single target structure damage, but they come on through. They find the kills they need to end that game. I think if they didn't end there, they were in serious trouble.
I mean, these two playstyles very, very interesting, because on one hand, Strange Team Comp clearly likes to play it a little bit slower, go for more safer win conditions, whereas it does look like Resurgence of the Storm, as soon as they see that opportunity to try to end the game, they're going for it, and if that means they're inting on core, but they're going to try and end the game out.
You saw it work out there. Oh, God, I keep thinking about game number 1, where they just... the extended, 2-minute just run across the map, try to hope they don't see you on the way. Oh, man, but taking a look at these stats here, Severn on the Cassia, nearly 50,000 there for Resurgence of the Storm. There's Jockishlu on the Chromie, almost 55k. Great job from those backliners. And, yeah, I mean, Strange Team Comp, their plan looked very well practiced. They got the push they needed to. Zeratul doing a great job getting off lane pressure, making sure that Malthael wasn't just running all the lanes simultaneously. But, wow, just sort of came down to who could come out ahead on that last fight, and I feel like the objective presence from Resurgence of the Storm really helped them end there.
Yeah, I think I really would have liked to see Strange Team Comp just push for the finish. They had an 80% plus health Punisher on the core of Resurgence of the Storm with all their members up. They could have pushed in there, tried to finish off the game at that point. You know, the Punisher, they were already past level 20. So I would like to see a little bit more aggressive plays from the side of Strange Team Comp, because although playing safe is sometimes safe, it also gives more opportunities for the enemy team to turn the game back around, especially when you're taking these fights, level 20, 22, 20 minutes into the game. These death timers really start to get long, and, you lose 1 or 2 members, and that's just the game over because they're not up soon enough to do anything. So, yeah, we'll see if kind of Strange Team Comp will maybe adjust their playstyle a little bit going into the next one, because I think they could have won this one.
It would have been interesting to see how that top lane push went, but I thought maybe they would go core with it. They ended up choosing not to, and it ended up coming back to bite them. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think that in hindsight, that push was probably their best chance to end the game, but at that point in the game, their Void Prison combos had been going so well every time. I understand why they would think, why throw it away here? We'll just win it on the next objective. It just didn't happen to go their way. Unfortunate for them. Well, once again, we're still waiting on our next lobby here, so we're going to go take a little bit of a break. Hopefully, we'll be back very, very shortly for game number 3. Stick around. Alrighty, welcome back to the Division B Grand Finals. We're tied up 1-1 going into game number 3. Another thriller there, Jazzy. That was, not a 1% core, but that game definitely could have gone either way.
Yeah, these are very back and forth games here tonight between Resurgence of the Storm and Strange Team Comp. Never really know who's going to win it. It might seem like one was kind of in control of the map and everything, but these are going straight into late game. So whoever wins that, late game past 20 team fight just can run it down and end the game here. Going into game 3 here, Alterac Pass.
Alterac Pass is going to be our third map of the series as chosen by Resurgence of the Storm. So far, teams electing for first pick anytime they fall. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the meta of Heroes of the Storm lately, right? As you get the first pick opportunity, there's not a whole lot of counter picking that a lot of the teams tend to do in that last spot. There's just the heroes you want to pick up first. So, not too surprising in that department.
Yeah, interested to see if we're going to see those bans changed up a little bit here. Still had the Varian Stukov as a priority for the side of Resurgence in the first half of the ban, and that Hogger was still a priority for Strange Team Comp. But at this point, they've kind of shown their hand on some of the comps they like to run with the APOC Void Prison combo there from Strange Team Comp. I'm interested to see if we're going to see any kind of parts of those combos banned away.
It's possible. I mean, I doubt Zeratul comes through in the first rotation, so maybe you think about that as a second ban, or a third ban, I should say. Yeah, I mean, that was sort of the big part. That was the big enabler on the side of Strange Team Comp there. You can set up, you can set up a Deckard Diablo, you can do all sorts of different setups with APOC, but the Zeratul there was definitely potent. So it would not surprise me to see that banned away by Resurgence of the Storm, or at least taken a little bit more into account with the late picks there. So I wouldn't say their draft was super Zeratul prone, but the triple backline definitely struggled a little bit there.
Interested to see if maybe we see the return of Deathwing here for the side of Resurgence of the Storm. He's great at just kind of being up in the air, dropping those meteors to stop the channel on the objective. Yeah. And he has that global Alterac Pass, pretty big map here. So they could find some value in picking him up here again.
Would not surprise me. This was one of this one and Towers of Doom were the ones people first sort of scienced out when Deathwing was dropped. It's like, oh, we can just infinitely stop the channel. Cursed Hollow. You can do the same thing. Is Cursed Hollow is the one where you have to... Can you hit 3 people? You can definitely hit 2 people who are channeling. Might be able to hit all 3. It's like very, very tight. But
yeah, it's hard to say.
On Alterac Pass, yeah, I mean, you can delay it for so long to try to get value elsewhere. It's definitely something to worry about. Still with the Hogger ban. So the latest Hogger balance patch basically took away his camp ability completely. His rage no longer affects damage on non-heroic minions.
Yeah.
So it takes him ages to do camps now. So they've got to really be worried about the team fight pressure coming on through from Hogger, that pummel value, that, constant knockbacks and staying alive for a while. I mean, it makes me want to go back and watch Resurgence of the Storm replays to figure out what's got Strange Team Comp so spooked.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to see that Cassia ban, though, once again. They saw Cassia in Game 2. They banned it in Game 1, and they think they're better off just banning it again here. Don't want Sovereign on that. That means, we saw Sovereign on Kira for Game number 1. Maybe he has the return of Kira once again. We're just going to have to see. The second ban here for the side of Resurgence of the Storm. Gonna be the Stukov? No. Okay, respect bans here. Kuromi coming out.
They're gonna leave Lucio and Stukov up here. It's a pretty shrewd move. I'm assuming Resurgence of the Storm is saying, pick one, because we're gonna take the other one. They're gonna force Jakashlu onto something else here. Kuromi, a little bit similar to Deathwing in, being able to interrupt those channels from over the wall in the safety of the fort range. So definitely a strong map pick, if not, Kuromi's just a strong hero overall. But Strange Team Comp instead say, you're not going to take both, are you? Please don't. We're going to pick Mei first. Ricky locking that in. I mean, Lucio Stukov is something that can be run. It has been run before by, you know, some teams. I wouldn't say Alterac Pass is the map for it.
Yeah, typically, you know, if you're going to do a double support comp, you want to make sure you can get one support that's decent at wave clearing and kind of soaking the lanes by himself. So you often kind of see maybe like a Rhaegar picked up. He can do that pretty decently. Brightwing Azmodan picked up here for the side of Resurgence of the Storm. And we're on a map like Alterac Pass. I have to think that maybe this Azmodan and this, even the Brightwing, can kind of phase in and help him at times too if objective's not going well, but he could just be looking to run it down. However, he was touched in this last patch. It's not as easy to do anymore.
Not quite as easy. You gotta be, you know, somewhere on the same map to cast that ult now, which is a nice change. But yeah, this tells me Resurgence of the Storm is just like, we're gonna try to get just chip damage onto your buildings. We're going to delay the objective. We're going to try to run down these walls, run down these forts, and eventually snowball it into a victory. So far, everything looking pretty samey over on the side of Strange Team Comp. Deckard's an interesting choice here from Dr. Evil. Good with the point control, and pretty good at showing up and locking down a possible Azmodan push. So I do like the choice there.
Synergizes really well with Mei as well, because he throws out those slows. Mei has that blizzard to throw out as well. You compare those together, as well as the root from Deckard.
It's a good pairing. I do like the pairing of Mei Deckard. So that'll bring some power for sure. I'm interested to see what the last two picks of Strange Team Comp are going to be to try to deal with this Azmodan. And Sylvanas pretty decent damage, but can get a little bit chunked by the laser. Sonya going to be the choice here for C2D2. We kind of forgot that Sonya was even available in this draft. And Perseus will take that Muradin that was actually banned away in game number 1. So excited to see what Perseus can do on that hero.
Yeah, I mean, Sonya's another hero that they banned out in game number 2 here as well, that we're now seeing them get to pick up for Resurgence of the Storm. So a couple heroes that, you know, Strange Team Comp didn't really want to see in earlier drafts, now having the opportunity to sneak through here for Resurgence. And there's the Zeratul Falstad. Interested to see if we're going to see Void Prison again here. Don't really have... I don't know. You could maybe combo it with some things. You drop a Blizzard underneath them or something and get them caught in the stun, potentially. Stay a while and listen is there. Wailing Arrow still. It'll be interesting. It's not the same kind of blow up that you get out of an Apocalypse, but we'll see if they can make it work. An interesting last pickup here for the side of Resurgence, though. A Genji lock-in.
Wow, Genji here to try to counter this Falstad and this Zeratul. Genji going to be doing some good work into Falstad for sure. I feel like this is a tough one here for Strange Team Comp.
I was thinking this is going to be harder for Resurgence.
Okay.
I don't know how they're going to get kills. As Azmodan in the early game,
I don't think they're going to try to get kills.
No, that's the thing is like... Are they just looking to push down lanes and ignore objective and then clear it up when it's done?
So.
But
like, I think we got a Sledgehammer Muradin on our hands. We've got Sonya with slams. We've got Azmodan on the buildings. Brightwing able to come in and help out if there's a gank attempt. I don't think Resurgence of the Storm is going to try to fight at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if they did try that it's going to work out in their favor here. You just, at least not until late game, maybe once Wingman is really stacked and come online, you might be able to find yourself with some kills, Genji getting in there to finish them off, Sonya getting in with leaps and stuff to help secure some kills. But at least in the early game, they're going to struggle to find anything at all.
It's going to be interesting to see if Strange Team Comp can find what they want here. Resurgence of the Storm here on the left in the blue. Wingman is on the Azmodan. Severn playing the Genji. C2D2 on the Sonya. Siu on the Brightwing. And Perseus is playing the Muradin.
And while over on the right-hand side, we have Strange Team Comp. Spectrum will be playing Sylvanas, Dr. Evil on the Deckard, Jakashlu on the Falstad, Micklin on the Zeratul, and Bricky playing Mei.
Flash here in the center, so no fancy shenanigans here to start things off. Severn going to be caught there by Spectrum and Bricky. And yeah, this will be one to see which style is going to come out ahead here. We do have, global for global with Falstad versus Brightwing. We've got the Genji versus the Zeratul. We've got a lot of sort of marquee matchups here, but the styles of these two teams are very different.
Do you have some level 1 questing talents picked up here? Murden's opted to pick up Perfect Storm, and it's going to be Gluttony for the Azmodan here. Meanwhile, over on the side of Strange Team Comp, Frequent Flyer is going to be picked up for the Falstad.
Still going for that auto attack quest. I mean, it's been, if you've been playing Falstad for the last, 11 years, however long it's been since the Falstad changes, you've been going with the auto attack quest, so not too surprising to see that there. And the way that people have been sort of reporting on how the W build changed, it might just be the strongest build anyway at this point. So sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy there with the Falstad bug. So not too surprising to see that.
Yeah, kind of got the same feeling out of it. It seems like auto attack the way to go on the Falstad, so again, I'm not too surprised either. We're going to see Sylvanas working on the siege camp here. Meanwhile, Wingman and Jakoshlu facing off in that top lane. Jakoshlu having to use that tap already. And the siege camp over on the side of Resurgence picked up a little bit earlier here, so it's going to be crashing a little bit more over to the side of Strange Team Comp's map, or lane, I should say, in the mid.
Decker going to go ahead and zone away Resurgence of the Storm here. Level 4s are coming online for both teams. Looks like Resurgence of the Storm is happy to just live under these towers right now. They're going to try to clear away this camp, try to do a little bit of chip damage. Take a look down at the bottom lane. Genji and Zeratul still working there. Oh, Sony actually going down in the mid. I moved away thinking that, everything was over, but nice pickup there by Strange Team Comp. They take first blood. Though their mana bars are a little bit worse for wear. Trying to back, but Perseus gets the first interrupt. There they go. They're going to grab some mana. Ricky's going to have to go back as well.
I was wondering if he's just going to stick around for the wave to crash and let his team kind of relieve him while he hurts so they don't miss any XP here. But with these globes hanging around for so long, I guess not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Looks like they picked up most of them there in the mid lane, even before they expired. Wingman gonna have to go back for some mana as well. A lot of mana usage so far in this game, but only the one kill so far, as we are now at our first objective of the game, which is famously ignored till at least level 7.
Siege Camp did come back up here for the side of Resurgence. The Storm C2D2 and Suzy are going to go ahead and work on that. Siege Camp now spawning in for Strange Team Comp as well. Falstad and Spectrum on the Sylvanas, working on getting that finished up, with Decker just tossing them a potion to keep them healthy as they do that. We're going to see Zeratul eyeing the Azmodan in mid, looking to get that soak. Genji, it's okay. Genji also popping his deflect into Mei in that top lane as well. Both those camps now picked up, and these teams just continuing to soak it out, looking for those level 7 talents.
Waves will crash in mid here once again. Wingman and Siu here to try to clear this away. Genji just grabbing that soak in the top lane as level 7s are online. Sonya's coming up here as well. Oh, Spectrum is actually going to get hit with the spear. Ricky trying to get the icing on out of there. There's the root combo. Perseus taking some big damage there. Getting pushed back. So Strange Team Comp has been having some pretty good defenses. They've got good tools at their wall to dissuade any dives between the Deckard and the Mei.
Right wing using that phase shift onto Perseus, but Perseus getting caught out of position, is going to get picked off by the members of Strange Team Comp. Ricky popping that cryo freeze, get himself healed back up. Now looking to get a little bit more pressure out of their pick here. But we Wingman getting caught out there on the CC. Suzy managing to get behind the wall here, but Sylvanas shutting it down. And I like this. There's a little bit more aggression coming out from Strange Team Comp. They've had this Sylvanas every match, and I haven't seen them use her as often as I'd like when they have those deaths and picks over on the side of Resurgence. But they did it this time. They got that front wall down, so well played.
Genji gonna get, Genji could be in trouble here. Pops the deflect, not gonna be a chase from the side of Strange Team Comp. Still not really going for the objective here. Instead, just trying to keep their lanes satisfied, looking for their level 10s, going back to pick this camp up a third time before the objective is considered. Zeratul and Sonya can go ahead and work on each other a little bit here in the bottom lane. Not too much kill pressure available from either one of them. But, sometimes it's fun to press your buttons as an offlaner. Sometimes you just don't get to.
Wanted to take a second and look at the Sonya build as well, because that last patch hit and nerfed her slam build. So she's going full whirlwind right now and has that block picked up at level 1.
I think it's a good choice into all the root options available from between Deckard, between Faye bringing on the slows. Oh, VP there in the mid is going to catch the Muradin. Going to force Wingman to back up here. Perseus still at full health, looking like Muradin's going to be fine. So you coming in. Oh, there's a sleep actually going to catch too. Ice Wall going to land onto May. C2D2 is here with that Wrath. Going to try to get some consistent damage. Spectrum being forced back. Very nice gust though from Jackashlu is going to save Sylvanas for now. Sonya gonna get away. Genji trying to find these last hits onto Spectrum. Strange team comp, very nice positioning there in that engagement.
Just so much back and forth, but everybody manages to stay alive. A ton of ultimates being popped in the meantime there. So if we didn't see them go out, but there was the Void Prison from Zeratul, Gust was used from the False Ad and the Stay a While and Listen, but those other ultimates, the Ice Wall was used as well. And the last one that we didn't see was the Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas, so that's still up and available over on the side of Strange Team Comp.
Ricky being forced back there by Wingman and Perseus. C2D2 trying to get the attention of these minions. There's the objective being channeled here. Finally, at the nearly 7-minute mark. Oh, Spectrum could be in trouble here. The laser is out. What a polymorph, and that's going to be it for Sylvanas. Great stagger on those CCs. That had to be just right, or that Haunting Wave was going to come through for the save. And we have our first objective of the game coming on through for Resurgence of the Storm.
And I got to be pretty happy about that because, again, they're not really looking like the team fight comp that you'd expect here. We have the Demonic Invasion still picked up on the Azmodan. He did use that. So let's see what kind of value they can get out of this objective. A lot of their resources focus in that top lane right now with 4 members of Resurgence of the Storm up there. Sonya continuing just to catch Soak in the mid and now heading down towards bottom lane to catch it there as well and get a little bit of pressure built up down there.
This top 4 definitely looking like they're going to be in trouble. Jackashlu dropping that gust right away, trying to get some damage out onto this objective. Dr. Evil and Bricky are here as well. Ice Wall going to come out and catch one. A little bit of a reverse action there. Severn trying to get away here, pops the deflect. Objective still wailing away on this fort. There's the Azmodan ult. That's definitely going to be securing this structure. As Sonya and Zeratul still away from the fight, making this a 4v4. Bricky trying to get away here. Dr. Evil not going to catch anyone in that scroll of ceiling. Spectrum, oh, look at that. 3 players slept. They're going to use that to walk on out of there. So first structure damage does go over to Resurgence of the Storm. Bottom lane looking to be cleared away by Michaelin. And yeah, overall, lot of commitment. Not a ton of kill pressure from either side at this point, to be honest.
I just realized too, Murden picked up Skullcracker. So he has those stuns on like every 3rd or every 4th auto attack, is it?
It is
every 3rd basic. So just a little bit of extra CC if he can kind of stick on to somebody and stop them from retreating out. That's why Sylvanas was struggling there just to walk away from Murden for so long. But the siege camp's back up now. Resurgence of the Storm grabbing theirs. Micklin clearing out that bottom lane as Genji tries to come forward to get that well, but not going to be able to finish that off. Meanwhile, the siege camp for Strange Team Comp has also been picked up now.
Perseus trying to clear out that mid. Looks like Resurgence of the Storm, they want this mid fort. Azmodan on the way back. 15 seconds until the next siege ult. Let's see if they can hang around for long enough to get that dropped in. Genji and Zeratul still battling it out in the bottom lane. Falstad using that global to get some pressure in the top lane here. 2 seconds on Azmodan ult. Wingman not going to go in for it. Not going to risk it.
I mean, all in all, they just lost their top fort off this. Like, one thing is that is a boss lane, so they could potentially see a boss pickup at some point. You know, 4 members hanging around in top lane right now. If the members of Strange Team Comp show bottom, and there's a chance they could in just a moment as May, Falstad, Deckard all head down there, we might just see them trade out bosses, but we'll have to see here.
Thought maybe Resurgence was going for a boss. Looks like they just do a little bit of a head fake. Azmodan going to drop the ult on the structure. The wave will almost certainly be taking that down. Strange Team Comp, they were thinking about a boss. I think they were coming down thinking, oh, we'll just trade out the bosses.
Yeah.
Resurgence coming on back down.
able to secure another fort on the way down there. That demonic invasion with the minions left behind there took that one down. So mid fort down for the side of Strange Team Comp. No bosses started up quite yet. A little bit of an XP lead here for Resurgence of the Storm, but still a ways off from hitting those 16s right now. So no talent tier advantage quite yet as these siege camps come back in now and both teams look to grab them.
Strange Team Comp gonna get this camp on cooldown as is required. Looks like both teams taking a look here, making sure there's no sneaky bosses being taken. Zeratul in the top lane doing some off-soak, trying to get a little bit caught up there for Strange Team Comp. And right now, Resurgence of the Storm, what do you do here? Do you feign the objective and just go try to take a keep? Sonya pushing away that top lane. The power of their comp is in the push. I'm interested to see what their priority is here.
Yeah, me too, because they got that first objective. They showed up, they took the fight there to get it. So I'm interested to see if they're going to continue to try and actually contest these objectives, or if they're going to look to more play the map at this point, look for those bosses, look to use that Azmodan ultimate. It's coming up right now. Just look to pressure down and take forts and keeps that way.
Wingman has the 16, is going to move on back there. It's a little unfortunate with the positioning, this objective being right next to the only remaining fort. So Azmodan got to be a little bit careful moving on up there. Looks like Resurgence of the Storm with their 16 advantage is going to start pushing onto this objective. Bricky getting stunned out there by Perseus. There's the channel. Dr. Evil not able to throw that Herodric Cube quite in time. And now we'll see whether, I mean, look at those Deckard potions. That's looking prime for an invade there for Strange Team Comp.
They're ready. They're just trying to get that 16 before they go in for it. They have about 24 seconds here before Resurgence of the Storm secures this objective. Perseus getting quite chunked. Bricky able to drink that potion to get himself healed up here. Now looking to walk away, but Sonya goes in, whirlwinding in the back line. Falstaff's flown down now is to here to help out the team. C2D2 caught in the back line, going ahead, popping that whirlwind once again. The root's going to stop him for the moment, and a huge Void Prison Gust there. C2D2 going to be the first to fall on the Sonya. See if they can get any counter kills, or if this is just going to be the members of Resurgence starting to drop like flies. But it's just the one. The rest of them all walk away. Miklan so low. Bricky so low, manages to survive. And just the Sonya falls here. Objective does go over to the side of Resurgence of the Storm, though, and they've already secured that bottom fort in the meantime as well.
Azmodan snuck away through that ult onto the fort and managed to pick that up. They lose the Sonya, but they get the objective. They get the bottom fort. I'd say that's a total win there for Resurgence of the Storm. They even almost got a couple of kills for it. And now they're going to get the pressure in the lane. Oh my goodness, look at that combo coming out onto Jokishlu. Nice barrel roll shield, and Dr. Evil bringing in the potion. That could have been a pretty fancy pick there for Resurgence.
Looks like they're going to eye this mid fort to begin with. Zeratul clearing out that bottom rider pretty quickly. Sonya makes her way down there as well. This mid rider, you know, not much health left on it here, but 4 members still pressuring forward onto this keep. They're going to get that front wall down. Interested to see if they're going to try to go for more here. About 14 seconds until Demonic Invasion is back up on the Azmodan. It looks like they're going to walk away after the ice wall goes out on Mei. Miklan, though, looking to go in for a little bit of damage as they retreat, and Sovereign in that back line just getting a little bit of poke on the way out, stopping them from mounting and chasing any further. But that's all they're going to get out of this. I mean, some keep walls, but other than that, you know, nothing too much picked up because they already had all the forts secured before the objective came out.
Resurgence of the Storm, good job disengaging there, good job staying split to not get hit with another Void Prison. They're going to go ahead and grab this top boss, this time Strange Team Comp. They're just double checking. Bricky going to go ahead and start it up. Right side camp has been picked up by Strange Team Comp. And can we actually get this done? This boss has barely started. Resurgence of the Storm are starting to come across the map here. Let's see if they stop to clear this camp. It looks like, yeah, they're going to stop. Pegasus is on the way. Strange Team Comp, they've got to get away from this boss. The clear is not there.
We already see Zeratul and Falstad setting up to clear the top boss that Resurgence just picked up here. The Resurgence is going to rotate down and now take the double boss play here. This, you know, ultimately probably not going to do too much for them, but what it does do is take some win conditions off the map for the side of Strange Team Comp, or just some conditions for them to kind of open up the map in return away from Strange Team Comp. See, top boss cleared for free, bottom boss, we'll have to see here if they're even going to bother pushing with it. They have a siege camp to worry about cleaning up mid, so they might not want to find themselves in the 4v5 if they do push with this, as Sonya's breaking off here. And it looks like like, again, bottom boss probably just going to be free cleared. So again, not too much of value gained here for Resurgence of the Storm, but at least it's something not on the map for Strange Team Comp to pick up and then get some value out of if they were able to win a team fight later.
Absolutely agree there. The push advantage just on the heroes is way in the favor of Resurgence of the Storm here. So, you know, just making sure that no extra siege potential can be picked up by Strange Team Comp. I agree with the choice. And we've got the top lane prisoner camps are opening up. The back siege camp is up and available for Strange Team Comp. Okay, I was thinking, will Resurgence come on through? They've almost got their 20s. I thought they might come on through with an invade, but they don't exactly have an invade-y kind of team, so not too surprised that they didn't go for that option.
Level 20s now hit for Resurgence of the Storm. Do you have Murden taking that rewind there, so he'll be able to lock down his targets even better now.
Severn is going to be scouted out there. Sonya has made their way back to the pack, as once again, Resurgence of the Storm going to be the first to step up with this channel. Right now, Strange Team Comp just clearing away the top lane. Sonya has been spotted in mid. Level 20s are online for Resurgence of the Storm, but not Strange Team Comp. And it looks like Strange Team Comp is sensitive to that level advantage. Not interested in just barreling their way in there.
Bricky gonna go check things out, though. Kind of give his team an idea of where people are in there. Deckard setting up his potions, but only 15 seconds here before the objective goes over to the side of Resurgence of the Storm. Falsad's trying his best to soak it out for his team here, but it's going to be cutting it close if they can even manage to get in here before the objective's done now. And they're going to hit 20s just as it finishes off here.
Objective is claimed. Strange Team Comp has their 20s and they're going in. Jockishlu trying to get away here, has the afterburners. VP is going to land onto 3. Michaelin moves forward to get a huge cleave. Icewall is going to land onto Sonya. Genji in the backline is trying to kite away here, has the one flip. Spectrum is chasing. Severn is going to get away here. Jockishlu gets away as well. No kills so far as Hugh comes in to heal up Severn. C2D2 is just pressing in with that Sonya damage, and now we've got Riders pushing down the lanes. We've got Asmodan dropping ult on this keep. Oh, this could be at very least multiple keeps, and it could be more if Resurgence of the Storm can find themselves a pick or two.
A lot of ultimates tossed out there. In fact, almost every ultimate. Genji has his extract still up and available to use, but other than that, everyone popped ultimates here. Brightwing, of course, Blink Heal doesn't take too long to come back up. They're going for it here. They're on this core. They have the help of one rider. Now a second rider showing up. The minion wave here as well. 2 keeps down with the shields down. They can do it, and they're focusing it down. 4,500 health left on it. 4,000 and falling. The gust comes out from Falstad to try and help them clear it up, but the rider's still on it, and that's going to be game number 3 over to the side of Resurgence of the Storm. GG's and well played.
The push comp comes up big. Asmodan ult able to get a lot of damage onto those structures, and I honestly didn't expect the objectives to go the way of Resurgence of the Storm as, you know, as dominantly as they did.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see that myself as well. You know, I kind of was looking at their team like, I don't know that they're going to be able to get kills necessarily. I mean, it wasn't a high kill game at all. 1 to 3 in total there. So they just managed to kind of soak them a little bit, get in there to get those objectives while they had those talent tier advantages and secure them before Strange Team Comp couldn't really do anything.
It was some good drafting there over on the side of Resurgence of the Storm. I like the Genji last pick. There's no way Genji was really going to be caught in any of those void prisons. He's going to be able to harass that back line. I mean, just looking at the team here, there's not really a whole lot of reason for any members of Resurgence of the Storm to be near each other at all. So I like the way that they played that comp well. Strange Team Comp, they found a couple of, you know, ways in there, ways to force a fight, but ultimately not nearly enough fights to get ahead in this kind of composition.
Yeah, I like that, you know, every single kind of comp that they've brought out has been a little bit different, a little bit more for what they need to do to secure these kills, try to get that win condition going for them here. And this one was like completely different because it was almost no team fighting really going on this time around, or if there was, nobody was dying. They were all just kind of backing off, doing their things after. So I'm really interested to see, are we going to go back more into the wombo combos that we saw in game 1 and 2, or are they going to kind of maybe try to sneak us into another big map and pull something like this again?
Well, it will be Strange Team Comp with the choice here. So far, they've gone with the first pick option, but like you said, it could be going towards a more team fight-oriented map. That could be in their favor because we are looking at match point here for Resurgence of the Storm. Just a quick look here at the remaining maps. Let's see. We could do Volskaya Foundry.
These best of fives really start to like chunk down your options. You only get a couple left if you get to the 5th game.
Tomb Towers and Volskaya Foundry are our last 3 maps. So in terms of team fights, they're all pretty team fighty. I mean, Tomb of the Spider Queen, you can kind of just get out push. That might not be the choice. Towers of Doom, it's hard to avoid fighting there. Volskaya Foundry, pretty tough to avoid fighting. I think if I'm Strange Team Comp and I want...
You can kind of do some like counter push, ignore objective things. Definitely going to late game usually on Volskaya. Tower and Tomb a little bit harder to do, but you know, well, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know.
If I'm Strange Team Comp and I'm picking a map, I think I'm picking Towers. The fight comps have gone their way pretty well so far. You know, split pushing doesn't do a whole heck of a lot on Towers compared to some of the other maps that we've seen today. But they've chosen first pick every time. Both teams have chosen first pick each and every time here, so saying that they're not going to choose first pick is probably a long bet.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait to see if Strange Team Comp can bring us to game number 5 here, make it a full game 5-game series for the B Grand Finals tonight, or maybe Resurgence kind of sneaks in the win. But the comps have been interesting tonight, that's for sure.
Absolutely, there've been starting to see those little adjustments made over on the side of Resurgence of the Storm. A little bit different bands, a little bit different picks. See if Strange Team Comp can work their way back here. I'm begging and pleading, put up a lobby so we don't have to go to the break again.
I want to lower my standing desk into sitting mode anyway, so if we go to break, that's fine with me.
All right. Hey, we've got ourselves a lobby. Fantastic.
Oh, okay. Cool.
We're going to be going to Volskaya Foundry here for game number 4. Let's see who picked the map. Looks like Resurgence of the Storm picked the map, so Strange Team Comp still sticking with that first pick. I mean, if you're talking about a map where you can play Asmodan again, Volskaya is one of them.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the one map out of the 3 left that they could maybe look to do kind of run it down with an Asmo in another lane while the other teams are distracted at the objective. And this objective probably the best option of what's left. You can't really do it on Tomb. It's a different style of Asmodan. Yeah, you can't really do it on Towers, so I'm not too surprised. They maybe will try to run something similar again, but we'll have to see what they go with when we get into the draft here. Looks like one of the members going with a bio break.
Shouldn't be too long here, but we are on a little bit of a break. So Volskaya Foundry, honestly, one that I don't get to see an awful lot of anymore. The upper levels of play, especially like Storm Division, didn't have it anymore, so we didn't get to see it from them. It's a map that's now been taken out of Storm League rotation, so it's, feels like a little bit of a last hurrah here for Volskaya Foundry in terms of seeing this map over the summer. It's, I don't know, I think it's a map, it's still very popular in the NGS, still the second most played map behind Infernal Shrines, but there's not really a consensus anymore on how the map is to be played, and I feel like that's to the map's benefit. Like, you've got, where do you take the first Protector? Do you intentionally lose to try to stack Soul Jin on it? Do you just forget it, go for team fight, and then just pick up a Protector late game to win? There's a lot of different ways you can go here on Foundry.
Yeah, sorry, I'm cranking my desk down right now. It's not a nice power standing desk. It has a crank that I need to wind up and down. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting which direction they try to take the drafts here. I can't wait to see what they end up doing here. Hopefully we can get into this soon, because it still looks like some people are on a bio break. What would you be looking for potential pickups now? You kind of have an idea of the things that both these teams like to play now. Is there some picks you think would be a priority here on Volskaya in particular?
I mean, Sylvanas can definitely still do some work. It's a little bit harder with this protector because you have to sack 2 of your members inside of it, so you don't get the same push power. I'd be interested to see if Leoric makes their way back. Volskaya Foundry was always famously the map that you couldn't end before level 20, and Leoric is just so strong once you get to that level 20 mark. I think we might see a little bit less priority onto split push, and a little bit more priority onto late game heroes. So your Leorics, we might see a Zul'jin come on through. Zeratul can still work. Zeratul, late game hero, can get some work done. You can get Void Prisons on top of the objective marks. I think we go back to the Varian Stukov bans. I think that's something that Resurgence of the Storm has shown they just don't want to see.
The thing, too, is on Volskaya Foundry, sometimes being in that Triglav is more of a hindrance than help. And if you're going a comp like a pick comp like Taunt Varian with the Stukov, you can just be looking to take fights behind the objective, even if you lose it. So not a bad idea for that to be banned out here. I wouldn't blame them for taking that one away.
It's also a map where the solo lane, your wave clear isn't as important. Sometimes you get to see interesting stuff like Chen, like Imperius. We have seen Deathwing come through in this series. Deathwing, you can argue, is a late game hero once you stack up those Molten Breath talents. And you can get away with not needing to double so quite as much. So I'm interested to see if the solo lanes come through with a little bit of difference, or if they just sort of stick to what they're comfortable.
I'm curious.
You know what?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm trying to think if we see a diva here. Like, the point control is good. The lane matchups are generally pretty good. Man, we haven't seen diva prioritized at all so far.
Yeah, not banned out and still left up. And I think there is a couple players that do play diva in this lobby. So, someone's dropped here.
Oopsie-daisy.
I'm sure they'll be back in a moment. So, I mean, definitely something that could be picked up, but maybe they're just not prioritizing it now after that last patch took a little bit of a hit there. I'm interested to see the other thing. There's been a lot of comfort picks or the same picks between these teams. Sylvanas has been played every single time over on the side of Strange Team Comp. So maybe they just look to take away comfort pick from them. The Mei has been a contested pick all evening as well. Both teams kind of trading off, picking up Mei. And that Zeratul popped up a couple times now for Strange Team Comp. One time it worked for them. One time it didn't. Don't know if it's going to be if Resurgence thinks it's worth a ban here or not. But it's just something to keep in mind.
It is definitely something to keep in mind here. I mean, I gotta. If I was gonna bet, I would bet that the Leoric comes on back. The Deathwing is a threat. Leoric did well in game number 1. It's a map that's gonna go to 20. But I mean, having that Zeratul in the back pocket means that Resurgence of the Storm has to draft accordingly. They can't do stuff like Gul'dan Ana. If there's a threat of a Zeratul to come on through. So even just knowing that Zeratul is a possibility is going to affect this draft.
Looks like we have everyone back here, so hopefully we'll be jumping into that draft in just a moment.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a false start there. Looks like we're up and running again. We'll make sure everyone's actually back before we go ahead and start this sucker up again. I'll let them know that I'm ready just to be sure. As, it's been a little bit of a long one between games, but I'm happy that the games have been so good.
Yeah, it's, I'm okay with the little pauses in between games, as long as we get a B in, how should I say this? A complete B division playoff instead of the split ones. It's worth it.
Yeah, 3-0 would have definitely been pretty rough. I think I'm trying to remember if it was either last season Heroic Finals or Storm Finals that I was doing, where it was just like a one bang 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 done. You're like, oh, okay.
Oh,
well, I guess that happened. Unfork.
Yeah.
It's, you know, these two teams are well matched, and that's not always the case when you get these cross-coastal finals.
It's, oh, for sure.
I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, the question is whether Strange Team Comp will be able to take us to Game 5 or not here. For Resurgence is just going to close out the series in a 3-1. Still just waiting here.
They've looked very strong. I mean, to be fair, they got pretty dang close to getting a 3-0. They were 1% off of a 3-0, and we'd be done already. But Strange Team Comp have definitely not just been laying down for these games. Man, I mean, we're talking about a team named Strange Team Comp. They're against the wall here. Do they bring out something truly unique, or something that's Resurgence of the Storm just isn't going to see coming?
Yeah, I'm curious to see, do they have any other kind of nice synergy comps up their sleeve that they want to bring out here for the finals? We saw the Diablo APOC Void Prison combo coming out from them, and they played that really well. Like, that could have easily been a win for them there if they had pushed their advantage. So I'm interested if we see that kind of thing again, or what they're going to do here on Volskaya.
You don't have to speculate any longer, though we did a pretty good job there of doing so. Strange Team Comp is going to have the first pick opportunity here on Volskaya Foundry. I expect to see pretty similar bans there. I am interested to see if Resurgence of the Storm sticks with the Varian Stukov. They went with the Varian Chromie bans last time. I gotta think that would do them well with Strange Team Comp being first pick here to take the Chromie off the board.
They're taking their time deciding, though.
Putting them on ice.
Sticking with the Hogger.
Sometimes you just gotta talk about it. You're still talking about your draft. You're still talking about your combos, considering your options. It reminds me of Hearthstone, where you're roping on turn 1. And it's like, okay, we're not on the tour here. This is rank 15. Come on. Let's go. You got your one cost. Let's bring it out. But Resurgence of the Storm gonna take another Varian ban here. Strange Team Comp. Lacacia came through in game number 2, did not come through in game number 3. We'll see whether they go back to that ban here.
Yeah, they've gotten rid of Cassia before. When they didn't get rid of Cassia on their second ban, they got rid of Sonya. And both times they left those things up, they were taken by the side of Resurgence of the Storm. At least one of the times they were. They picked up the Sonya. So let's see. They stick with the Cassia ban again.
Cassia going to be taken away here. Cassia definitely another sort of late game scaler if the Q build is the choice, which is usually the standard, stacking up those Qs right from level 1, then spiking with the 4 casts at 16. So not too surprised there. Resurgence of the Storm, is it going to be Chromie? Is it going to be Stukov? Is it going to be something else entirely? Maybe a Mayban? It's going to be the Chromie once again, so daring Strange Team Comp to pick up the Stukov without the Varian.
And they're maybe a little bit more comfortable letting Stukov through the draft after seeing they weren't going to prioritize it if it got left open after game 3. So they take away the Chromie. That was a comfort pick there over on the side of Strange Team Comp. They played it in game 1 and 2, and then it was banned for game 3. Going to be banned here once again for game 4. Let's see what they prioritize. Last time they took May when they had first pick, but this time it's going to be Lucio.
Lucio first pick by Dr. Evil, so May up and available here. See if Resurgence of the Storm is going to go ahead and pick that up, or if they've got something else in mind. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing another Asmodan. Like, you've got a game buffer here. Asmodan was hard to answer there by Strange Team Comp. I might give it another chance here. There it is. All right. Wingman going back to the Asmo, Perseus going back to the Murden.
I can't say I'm too surprised with the map pick that they chose here. So we'll see what they're going to build out for the rest of this comp. But it's looking like it'll be a fun draft for them once again. Over on the side of Strange Team Comp, switching up their tank pick again, picking the Garrosh for the first time tonight. And Sylvanas once again locked in for Spectrum. Spectrum
going back to Sylvanas for a 4th time here. It's been, making some big plays on the Sylvanas, no doubt. So, I mean, if you're feeling good, you want to keep going with it. Garrosh is an interesting one.
I'd really like to see them get a little bit more value out of the Sylvanas, though. I feel like there's these windows of opportunities where they've been getting picks and they haven't been pushing down lanes and using her trait to the best of their ability. So hopefully they kind of, at this point, know they need to play a little bit more aggressively. We kind of saw it in game 2 when they got a pick in that early game. They ran down the front wall of mid fort, but unfortunately they just weren't able to get any more picks too often in that last match. There was only like 1 to 3 in kills the total time, so not really very many windows for Sylvanas to do things with her trait. But maybe they can find it here.
It is possible. I mean, between Lucio and Garrosh, once again, they're building siege, not terribly grid. But if you get in the Protector, it can start to do some damage. Being able to get a further shutdown on the wall, on the structures, can definitely be strong. I'm going to see Brightwing and Tychus band away here. Right now, I mean, usually when the response to Garrosh would be Anduin, but of course Anduin not available here in this series. So Resurgence of the Storm going to have to consider what they're going to take instead. Siu going back to the Malfurion, C2D2 playing the Sonya. So honestly, I mean, it looks like these teams are pretty set in their ways. They're not crossing paths too much on their picks. They're just saying, this is what we like to play, and we think we can win with this.
Does it mean we're going to get a Genji last pick once again?
I mean, it's very possible. I mean, Severn could be the Kira. This is another map where wave clear is good, but not entirely, you know, it's not all-encompassing. There's the Zeratul. And Orphea actually going to be the choice here from Jokishlu, so a little bit of an adjustment there.
All right.
Orphea can... Orphea's definitely better at warding away a Genji than a Falstad is, so that probably might give Severn a little bit of pause. Is it Kira?
It could be. I mean, we did see the Kira pick up by Sovereign earlier, so we might see that again. We've seen the Genji and...
Okay,
Oh, there we go. No need to speculate anymore. Genji locked in here for the side of Resurgence of the Storm. So here's going to be the draft for game number 4. I was going to mention, I like the Garrosh Lucio pickup together because the one thing Garrosh kind of struggles with is finding those picks without any real form of engage. But Lucio being able to kind of give him that speed boost in to help him out a bit might play out fairly well here for the side of Strange Team Comp.
It does definitely help with the engage, but you're walking into Erd and Genji for the most part. Sonya's not the greatest throw target. Azmodan and Malfurion should be pretty far away here.
That's definitely the hard part, because Genji's just going to be able to E out. Muradin's going to be able to go ahead and Dwarf Toss out. Even Sonya, if she's really caught in a hard spot and picks up Leap at 10, past 10, she'll be able to leap out of there as well. So it's going to be hard for him to find targets that they're actually going to get value out of picking.
I think the Orphea might be the wild card here, though, because, I mean, Orphea's a much better dueler into Genji than Falstad, so that's going to be an interesting matchup, but we'll see if it ends here. On the left in the blue, Resurgence of the Storm looking to take this series. C2D2 on the Sonya, Wingman playing Azmodan. We've got Perseus on the Muradin, Siu on the Malfurion, and Severn on the Genji.
Meanwhile, over on the right-hand side, Strange Team Comp. Bricky will be playing Garrosh, Dr. Evil on the Lucio, Spectrum on Sylvanas, Micklin on the Zeratul, and Jakoshlu on Orphea.
Perseus alone in the mid versus the 5 members of Strange Team Comp right now. Resurgence of the Storm just staying off the map here. Wanting to make sure that there's no Sylvanas shenanigans, but Spectrum might run it right down the middle. Gonna go ahead and step back.
They maybe learned from game number 2, where they just kind of like baited them into the Sylph Cheese while a couple members took the fountain bottom. So they had all members kind of set up in every lane for whatever might happen from the side of Strange Team Comp.
Resurgence of the Storm not going to have any shenanigans at all, as Severn trying to push back the Sylvanas here. Dr. Evil can come on through with the heals. Oh, Spectrum actually going with the Haunting Wave forward. This could be trouble. There it is. Sylvanas taken down first after an aggressive Haunting Wave. Severn going to be thrown in there, has the Protect, and just doing Genji things, surviving the counter gank attempt there from Bricky.
There's the stun connecting onto Perseus, but the root comes out from Malfurion, catching Bricky, so can't step forward to look for any tosses there. Gonna see the wave finally cleared up by the members of Strange Team Comp. Meanwhile, Wingman catching that mid soak and already starting to kind of run down these lanes a bit, getting that wave priority for his team. We do have those camps up and available now. C2D2 and Sovereign starting up the turret camp over on the side of Resurgence of the Storm. Spectrum working on the turret camp for Strange Team Comp.
It is important to pick up those turrets as early as you can. You're on full Sky of Foundry, so you have the possibility of picking up a second one before the first objective becomes critical. And, man, right now, it's looking like Resurgence of the Storm having a pretty fantastic lead right now. Severn is doing a really, really nice job of harassing the edges, dismounting members of Strange Team Comp here, and making sure Wingman can just move through and get as many stacks as possible.
Bricky in a little bit of trouble here. C2D2 trying to go forward to finish that off. The deflect from Severn going out, but it's going to be the Azmodan Globe. It's securing the kill here onto Garrosh.
Very, very nicely done there. Good pressure. Perseus goes in, finds the stun there onto Spectrum. Wingman has already used the Globe, though, so Severn, man, just knowing the limits of Genji very well here, just has the E available, saying, like, this is where I'm allowed to be when I have these buttons. Severn gets down to 30% health and goes, okay, I'm gone, and waits till those buttons are available again, and then just gets right back to harassment. It's really nice Genji play coming on out. I see why it came through.
It's not too often you get to see Genji picked up these days, so can't say I'm complaining about that pickup at all. Like to see it work out as well. Both these teams working on that siege camp before objective comes up here in a few short seconds. Jakoshlu and Dr. Evil trying to get that mid soak. In the meantime, Zeratul still pushing in bottom, catching soak for his team down there.
C2D2 going to go ahead and pick up that wave as we see Strange Team Comp looking to step onto this point. Resurgence of the Storm is going to focus on the top lane first. Azmodan trying to clear that out, but here comes Strange Team Comp. Garrosh is still on the point here versus Sonya. Zeratul down in the bottom lane. So it's a 3v4 without a tank. Right now, Jakoshlu thinking about going in here. Perseus wants to find the stun, will not get it onto Spectrum. And will this push just continue? We're going to have a quick pause.
Well, this wouldn't be a like grand final without a pause at some point, right?
Hopefully it's a small issue that will be fixed up in just a moment, but for now we'll bring it on back to us. And it is going to be a short one. The R's are called, and I let them count down and bring it on back in. But I was just thinking, Resurgence of the Storm, they might just stay here in the top lane and just let Azmodan push through.
Yeah, I mean, right now, just their positioning, Garrosh still hanging around in mid lane is 3v4 there. A little bit rough for them to try to step up to defend this without any kind of front line to help them out up there. So I'm interested to see what Resurgence is going to do here with that siege camp. They are clearing up the siege camp here of Strange Team Comp. Theirs is still up. They have level 7s online. One last globe tossed out by the Asmo. That's all they're looking at doing here.
Okay, so it was a full response from Strange Team Comp. They came up to make sure that no Asmo shenanigans did happen. Zeratul holding the point for now with that perfect stealth, but will get on out of there. And, yeah, right now, Strange Team Comp, they're looking to catch up. There's the speed boost. Cannot quite find the Malfurion. Is Perseus trying to maintain a toe on this point. C2D2 here as well. And there's Resurgence of the Storm straight back to the top lane.
I love the way Resurgence is playing this because they know if they can just like stall this first objective out as long as possible, it only works more in their favor because they're going to get Azmodan with his demonic invasion up and they're going to be able to run down lanes even better. So if they can continue to create these distractions, this objective gets stalled out even longer. We're looking at level 10s coming online potentially, and that means they're going to be able to, one, set up a way better defense for this first Triglav, but also they're going to be able to just send Azmodan into those off lanes and start to do that counter pushing, like split lane pushing with the Asmo plays.
It's, man, Resurgence is playing this very, very nicely so far. Strange Team Comp, again, playing a composition. They want to find a fight here, and Resurgence of the Storm just won't give it to them.
It's hard to do, though, with the Garrosh as well, because as we already talked about, he doesn't have the best engage, and a lot of the targets, even if he does find them, you're not necessarily going to get kills onto them because they have ways to escape after getting tossed in.
Pressure in the top lane once again coming on through. Severn getting away from Spectrum there in the mid. Getting close to capping this first objective, though, is Bricky. Severn going to have to step onto the point here with Perseus. So Resurgence of the Storm not going to be able to run around quite as much. They're going to have to put some focus onto this objective. Though, I think that won't be too much of a problem here from Azmodan, being able to clear pretty much both top, mid, and bot lane at will.
And there we go, level 10's now online for the side of Resurgence here. We're going to see Avatar picked up from Muradin, X-Strike from the Genji, Twilight Dream picked up by the Malfurion, Leap from the Sonya, and Demonic Invasion. So no surprises here after seeing this comp played earlier by the side of Resurgence. Malfurion and Genji getting into this Triglav because they also managed to secure this one somehow as well. So even though they're creating these distractions, running it down, getting top lane kind of opened it up already, they on top of that managed to secure the Triglav as well.
I'm honestly surprised. Like, I know Strange Team Comp was down their level 10s, but I'm surprised they didn't manage to just get a toe onto the point and let those heroics come on through, because now the objective is pushing through the top lane. Bricky is looking for a throw here onto Azmodan. It's pretty good job of making the Protector think twice about moving too far forward. Right now, Wingman in a healthy position here. There's the wall, there's the well. Protector has pretty much done its job here, being the first one of the game. And Resurgence of the Storm, happy with their progress. Just going to move back to safety.
And maybe get a little bit more mid cleared out here. Not much team fighting capability out of these Triglaws these days, so it's not going to be able to see too much there. And there's the end of that Triglav. Sovereign and CZ back out now. Azmodan heading towards top once again. But it's still another 34 seconds until that Demonic Invasion is up. He's going to send a couple demons down that lane, though, to be cleared up. There's a high five out onto Bricky. They're speed boosting, trying to find that pick on the Sovereign, but he goes ahead and just gets on out of there. Genji a little slippery here for the Garrosh to try and find picks. Michaelin a little bit out of position here. He's going to have to pop that Void Prison to walk away, but survive for now. Ping's coming out for the help, but C2D2 catches them on the rotation, stalling them out from doing anything out of that Void Prison. There's the silence coming out now from Malfurion, unstoppably being popped on Garrosh to allow him to walk away, looking for that toss back in now, but can't seem to find it. And this is just like all the team fights we've seen earlier. Both teams getting very low, but nobody actually getting picked off.
Resurgence of the Storm doing a good job of baiting out that Void Prison. For honestly, I've forgotten Zeradkul was even part of this game. Just been sort of stuck in off-lane duty here for Strange Team Comp. Looks like, once again, the turret's going to be picked up. Level 13s are on the horizon. And, again, this is starting to feel a little bit like Alterac Pass. Resurgence of the Storm, they have a win condition around just pushing these lanes out. And Strange Team Comp is not able to find a way to interrupt it so far.
I'd really like to just kind of see Garrosh trying to interrupt these rotations that they're doing between mid and top, looking for those targets to toss. There's the Demonic Invasion coming in from Azmodan on the mid fort here. They just feel like the entire match they're playing on like the reaction. You know what I mean? They're not the ones they're reacting to everything Resurgence is doing, and they're not really finding themselves making any plays themselves. As I say this though, they're going for the gank attempt onto C2D2, but they aren't able to find it.
Once again, almost finding the pick there. Top lane pressure coming on through from Resurgence of the Storm, but here comes Strange Team Comp. Lucio speed coming on through onto Bricky, but able to just back away. Mounts are on. And yeah, it's just a little bit of ring around the rosy here. Michaelin gonna get the VP onto 2, but nowhere to be found is the rest of Strange Team Comp. Spectrum trying to come on in with the silence onto 2, but this could be, oh, actually Perseus thrown into the back line there. Severn in some big trouble, has the E to get out. And looks like Muradin is going to escape here.
It's actually pretty good for Resurgence there. They got 2 turrets out of the side of Strange Team Comp from that fight, and nobody went down. They interrupted the Malfurion Twilight Dream with Sylvanas' Wailing Arrow, so that's still up over on the side of Resurgence. But all of them, again, walk away. Nobody goes down. They're just struggling to find picks on either side here.
Honestly, Strange Team Comp, I didn't think they were going to get anywhere near that VP, but they did a pretty good job of jumping on over there, almost making something happen onto the Genji, but just too much extra healing, too much good spread. They're coming out from Resurgence of the Storm. We see Azmodan once again just pressing the button. Going to get probably a fort here as the wave is starting to crash as well. There's the globe, and that's going to be our first fort of the game going over to Resurgence of the Storm. And They got the same draft. They're playing it the same way. Resurgence of the Storm is saying to Strange Team Comp, find an answer.
Yeah, and they're struggling to find it. They're kind of just letting Resurgence run it down in these lanes. They're not able to find the picks that they need to get to shut this stuff down. You know, you kind of want to be on top of the Azmodan with his Demonic Invasion. You see it off cooldown. You're looking to try and pick him off before you can get anywhere near your fort, and they're not making that happen either. Another thing, I was just taking a peek at the talents. You know, Susie's picked up Nature's Swiftness at 13 as well. So now has that move speed when he has regrowth on any active regrowths. So that's going to be able to get him in and out away from Garrosh tosses. There's the Crushing Jaw, though, out onto Orphea. Susie actually in trouble here, is going to fall. Malfurion falls here. Perseus left on the point. They have turrets drop, but Sylvanas is shutting one of them down at least. Spectrum ends up going down, though. They find a return kill, and then Muradin goes down as well. A 2-for-1 in favor of Strange Team Comp. This is what they kind of need to turn this around. Let's see if they can get some value out of it. They don't have Sylvanas here to shut down structures, so it's not a lot that they can really do for their push potential with an Orphea.
Orphea, you know, okay, not great siege damage onto structures, but they are looking like they're going to be picking up a objective here, which will definitely help them out. Michael putting some damage there. Oh, Azmodan gonna go ahead and say, this fort's mine now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say his Demonic Invasion's coming off cooldown, so mid fort's gonna go down. They secure the Triglav, but all the members of Resurgence of the Storm back up for the defense here. Let's see if they can get some major value out of it, because they need it here.
Only Orphea inside the Protector for now. Michaelin is going to jump in there as well. And Severn, taking some big damage there from the Protector as this wall is taking some damage. Right now, Resurgence of the Storm looking to surge on past. Perseus moves on up. C2D2 with the lead onto Bricky. Silence comes out onto Garrosh as well. Dr. Evil able to get away, but Garrosh not so lucky. Going to go down. Dr. Evil actually getting hit with the whole X-Strike there. What a pick there from Severn. 2 members down as this Protector being forced behind the fort. So not only not picking up as much siege as they would like, Strange Team Comp loses 2, and they're going to lose their 3rd fort.
And this is what I was kind of saying is, you know, sometimes it's more of a hindrance than a help to have that Triglav. And this is exactly what you saw Resurgence do. Just take the fight past the Triglav, look for those picks on the people that are outside of it here. And even though they lost the objective, they're still ending up well ahead out of this one.
Just the siege pressure between Azmodan and Sonya and Muradin with that sledgehammer. Every little bit of, every inch, Resurgence takes a mile in terms of structure damage. And you just can't say the same for Strange Team Comp's comp. They've got to find these team fights. They've got to win them over and over again in order to get anything done on this map.
You know, the other thing that they could have done in the early game is just like, oh, Azmodan's gonna shove down top for it. Well, we have Sylvanas. We'll just trade then. But I don't know that that's even possible with an Orphea Zeratul on your team. You just didn't take sieging picks. Like, you could have just kind of traded off forts and done, like, counter pushing and that way with the Sylvanas pickup on your team. But I think you maybe needed to draft something that could kind of siege in. We're gonna see Perseus in a little bit of trouble, but able to Dwarf Toss out of there, and the pick goes out onto Lucio. Orphea trying to crush, or trying to chomp her way out of this team fight and sustain herself, but she's in a world of hurt as well. Here's this 3rd person to drop on the side of Strange Team Comp. Sonya securing all 3 of those kills onto Lucio, Garrosh, and Orphea, and now going for the turret invade.
Unbelievable sustain power coming on through from the Muradin, just taking pounding after pounding there from Strange Team Comp and not going down. C2D2 with the sniper leap onto Lucio there, just turning that fight over. And now this is going to be a keep going over to Resurgence of the Storm. I don't know how they're turning around these fights with this comp, but it's going... I mean, we're at 14 minutes. Are they looking? They're just looking to end this game right now.
They have that level 20 talent here, advantage here. Muradin's got his rewind. They got the shields down here. Still another few seconds till all of the members of Strange Team Comp are up. There's not really a front line to stop them. They're just running it down the course, falling in game number 4. We'll be going over to the side of Resurgence of the Storm, who are your Division B champions.
Wow. I mean, they were pushing those structures hard. I honestly didn't expect them to just simply go win the game right there, but I mean, you got to give it up to them. They found the comp. It worked out well. They said, let's just do it again. They drafted literally exactly the same comp and win exactly the same way. I mean, they didn't get it in, you know, Obviously, they didn't get it in 15 minutes the first time around, but incredible series there from Resurgence of the Storm.
Yeah, no, I really love the way that they played those last two matches. They kind of made Strange Team comp not really know, they didn't really know what to do into that comp and how they were running it, just creating that Azmodan, run it down. It forced Strange Team comp to always just kind of be reacting to whatever Resurgence was doing here. And it wasn't, they weren't finding anything that they needed to do to counter that. They weren't looking for just counter push themselves. They weren't finding picks to kind of shut down that strategy. So Resurgence was just kind of able to run it down here for game number 4 to secure the series.
Very nicely played. Checking to see if there's an interview possibility. Yeah, we'll take a quick look at the talents, though. Everything looked pretty much on the level there. Orphea going with that full trait build with the Ancestral Strength. The leaps from C2D2 were incredible. Really nicely done.
Yeah, you can see the kind of like combos that they were looking for here. Again, with the Void Prison setup, you have Crushing Jaws to follow up on top of that, the Wailing Arrow as well. And they were able to get a couple kills off of that. But, Resurgence wasn't really looking to fight a lot of the time. They were just looking to kind of, play the macro, run the map down, and kind of avoid those fights until we absolutely need to look for the engages to deny them objectives. And it worked very well here. And even when they didn't get the objective, they're just like, no big deal. We fight past it. We win these.
It was very, very cool to watch how that comp worked out. It's not something, you look at it and go, okay, you push buildings, and they just did it with such efficiency that it was really, really cool to see. Alrighty, looks like we are going to have ourselves an interview, so we're going to go and find them. First, I'm going to turn off the Jazzy Cam for a moment, because that's going to break as soon as I move Discord channels. Let's see if we can go find them. Jump down to lobby 2.
Sure, I'll meet you there.
See you there. Alrighty, looks like we're starting to filter in here. C2D2, Wingman, are we expecting any more?
No, I think this is it. We got some people off to sleep already.
Well, congratulations on the 3-1 victory. You're the Division B Grand Finals champions.
Oh,
feels
my
good.
gosh.
Feels good. Thank you.
It was, quite the series there. It started really tilting your way there at the end, but talk to me about how this series started out. What was the preparation like going into a team that, you don't get to see all division long? Did you have to go by the numbers? Do you have to watch video? What goes into a cross-coastal grand finals?
Yeah, we at least watched the most recent games that they played, the ones on Twitch, just to kind of see. Because if you go by the numbers, sometimes, especially later in the season, people start playing different things. They picked up another hero. They're not playing something else anymore. So we definitely did numbers just to see what they liked and what was strong statistically for them, but also what they've been running recently. And every time that variant kept popping up, so we didn't want to see none of that.
Definitely saw some priority there onto the variant. Looks like throughout the series, you started off with the full variant Stukov ban, just wanted nothing to do with that combo. Were you surprised when the Stukov wasn't prioritized at all, even when left open?
Yeah, we were actually. We thought they were going to prioritize Stukov, but they didn't take it. I know that Dr. Evil has been picking up Lucio as of recent, with his recent buffs. So it makes sense that switching over to Lucio is really strong too, with the high five.
Alrighty, Jazzalene, any questions about sort of prep, or are we going to want to get right into the games?
I think you asked everything I was wondering about the scouting and stuff and how you go about doing that. Have you guys ever looked to scrim some of these, B East Coast teams? Have you had that opportunity, or were you going in blind just off scouting matches?
We are just going off scouting matches. We haven't played one team in East ever, I think. Oh, wait, no, we played amateur opponents before.
Okay.
But we were actually scrimming some Div A teams West Coast in preparation for playoffs in general. So
okay, makes sense. You want to You want to make sure that you get people that will challenge you. Makes a lot of sense there for sure.
Exactly.
Going into the series here, Battlefield of Eternity, game number 1, your map choice. Could not have been any closer. I didn't get to click the final core to see what the health total was, but I didn't see any red on that health bar.
It was 1%.
It was definitely 1%, but it felt more like a 0.2 than a 1 to me. But I mean, have you been in those sorts of situations before where you're just thinking, we just need to run across the map right now, or was that more of a limit test scenario because it comes up so infrequently?
Yeah, it's definitely infrequent. I feel like we've done it maybe once or twice, on that map in particular. Like it seems to come up on that map more often than others. It was sloppier than I wanted it to be for sure, and it was just like one of those things where it goes either way. It could have gone either way, and it happened to go their way this time. So it was tough though. You definitely have to like bounce back from that mentally and like kind of just put it in the past.
What were your comms like when that was going on? Because you're sitting there like trying to finish off that core. You guys get wiped. You guys, some of you's trying to sneak in, trying to get that last like little 1%. I saw Kira trying to make her way through, but getting caught out there. What were comms like? Were you guys, yelling at each other? Were you just saying, what was going on there?
Oh, we're always yelling at each other, but yeah, I think we definitely didn't play it as well as we could have played it. I think if we were to play it better, like or next time rather, we would have won for sure. It was kind of we filtered in 4 and then died, and then Kira went by herself and then died. If we would have just waited for like in either instance just to be 5 and go in, then we would have won. So it was just it was sloppy. It's the finals, like tensions are high. Sometimes the right call doesn't come out.
Either way, it was really fun to cast.
Yeah,
incredibly close. Moving on to Infernal Shrines there. Pretty strong start there from Strange Team Comp. They were finding a lot of those Void Prison combos. Good jobs. There was the first one, the Malfurion cleanse was incredibly good, by the way. Just a quick compliment there.
Yeah,
but what sort of adjustments did you need to make in that game to hang on and try to turn that around?
Yeah, it was definitely don't clump. Like, let's do as much as we possibly can not to clump. And he seemed to keep he got at least 3 in that game that were like, really good. But then the last one, which was the only VP that he got Malpio and me, and I was able to cleanse the APOC, the self cleanse, and just like turn on both him and Diablo. So like it just came down to the last engage there. Yeah, but just other than that, holding on, making sure that they can't win the game with that top Punisher at the very end there, pull it over to the keep, and just like make sure that we can get some macro. And then they allowed us actually to get on the shrine pretty early, which I was a little surprised about considering they had map pressure. We were just able to take that fight and win it. So felt good. Definitely felt good. The Malthael was the right pick.
Any other questions about game 2, Jazzy?
No, I mean, I think you guys did well just, holding on until you could find that opportunity to close out the series there, because Strange Team Comp, kind of had you on the run for a little bit there, getting that Punisher in top, taking down your keep, and it was still quite healthy. They maybe could have looked to end, but it created a window there for you guys to just turn that game back around to take game number 2.
Yeah. It was. I feel like they were basically winning the whole game. Like the 0-2 off lane was really strong. He was getting a lot of double soak, a lot of off lane soak, and they were able to get, I think 16. They were able to get 20. They were able to get just like the big skills before us, and then they were using that to their advantage. But they couldn't quite finish with the amount of siege that they had, I think. So it just allowed us to stall out the game long enough so that we could take our fight.
Did you guys ever consider banning the Zeratul? Because after game number 2, it really became a priority in the draft of Strange Team Comp, or were you guys just
I think thinking, we figured out how to play. I mean, the clumping was significant, I think, in game 2. So game 3, game 4, we just said, okay, we're not going to clump. We're not going to push into them in a way that they can take advantage of it as much as we did in game 2. So we allowed it to go through.
All right. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, moving into game 3 and 4, it's kind of the story of the series for me. You go into an Azmodan Siege comp, and it was really cool to watch how that worked, because I mean, Strange Team Comp, they drafted 2 teams in games 3 and 4 that wanted to come fight you, and the goal, from what I could tell, was just try to avoid those fights at all costs. What's the plan moving around the map, trying to get vision in that sort of situation where you're really trying not to team fight?
It was just constant observation and communication on where Zeratul was, because we knew that was their big engage. So it was like, Zeratul's bot. Now's our chance to get something in another lane. And as soon as Zeratul disappeared, it was Zeratul's gone, everybody back. And then Zeratul would show up back bot. Okay, start moving forward again. So the communication in the last 2 games, actually, because they were kind of similar in the way we played them, was just constant observation of the offlane Zeratul.
Okay, so it was a lot about Zeratul spotting. That definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
For Alterac Pass specifically, we were a little surprised at how you were able to control the objectives as well as you did versus their composition. Were you expecting to be able to get as many of those objectives as you did?
Definitely not. We were really smart, I think, at least in how we approach the objectives. When we got 10 is when we went to go get the objective. When we got 16 is when we went to go get the objective. When we got 20, we went to go get the objective. So I think they just felt that they couldn't take back the objective, since we always had that. We got ahead early, and we just kept the lead the whole time. It was hard for them to kind of counter or take back the objective down the big talent tiers.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Any other questions about game 3 there, Jazzy?
Nope, no questions from me. I just wanted to say I think that you guys, game 3 and 4, picking up very, very similar comps and running it. Strange Team Comp didn't really know what to do into it, so you guys really played to that strength. So it was kind of neat to see you take a little bit less scene of a strategy in here for game 3 and 4.
Yeah, definitely worked out in our favor.
Absolutely. I mean, game 4, you saw the same comp come on through. It was, man. Was there any difference in playing that comp into a Garrosh rather than what was it, a Diablo there in game 3?
I think it was
May, yeah.
So
are there any adjustments that need to be made there, or was it just sort of spot the Zeratul and push down the build?
It was pretty similar in that, May can slide in, so she has a little bit of like a speed that she can apply to get the engage. But they also had a Lucio Garrosh, which is kind of similar. It kind of does the same thing, right? Where the Lucio is speeding up the Garrosh to run in and try and like find the throw or find the pick. So it was kind of similar in the way we ran it, but very much just spotting Zeratul, calling out Garrosh when he's rotating up. And, it's just like ping pong. It's like, oh, they're rotating up, back up. Okay, they're rotating back down. Okay, push forward. And not really allowing them to get too much objective. And even when they did get the objective, it's not very strong on this map. So we wanted to draft something that was, that didn't need the objective, essentially.
It worked out extremely well, and pretty textbook approach there. We don't get to see Volskaya Foundry end that quickly that often, but what a push to end the game and the series, and that makes you Division B Grand Finals champions. And I guess the question from here is, do you see this particular incarnation of the team moving forward into Season 12?
Yeah, we're returning, for sure. We're taking a little break. Some people are going to go over to the Nexomania tournament and play over there with the other team. We have actually Wingman just had a baby. So
Shaka bra.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
During the playoffs. What a time.
So we had to kind of work around practices with the baby schedule, and we had to, at one point we had to use our 6th man, our sub had to step in. So it's been a wild ride. We started, this was like a quarantine team of real life friends back in March of 2020, right when quarantine hit. And we started in Div C and made it to playoffs. And then we got to the C West finals last season, and then got moved up this season into B, picked up new healer, a new DPS, and made it all the way through the B division to win it. So we definitely started from humble roots and made it to, I guess, what would be Division A next season.
Possibly more. We'll have to see how the teams shake out. And some teams,
yeah.
We've got that Nexus division now. We might be looking at you for there, but definitely be excited to see what you do in season 12.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty, well.
Congrats
any final
once
questions,
again.
Jazzy?
No, I'm good. I just wanted to say
Right.
congrats again. That was a fun series of casts, so thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Any final last series of the season shout-outs you'd like to make before we close things down here?
So final shout out, first off, to the casters. I think you guys, Jazzalene, you're probably my favorite caster. I really like when you cast our games.
Thank you.
A couple times. It's always fun to be cast and be able to look back at the VODs and see what's happening.
You guys really make NGS. That's a big shout out to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. The casting is huge. I want to make a shout out to the team. It's been, I don't know how many weeks now, like 15, 16 weeks or something of just grinding week after week, practice after practice, scrim after scrim, match after match. In fact, we only dropped one match all season against the team that we ended up beating in the West Finals. So, it just really couldn't have gone better for us. So shout out to all the hard work and everything that we put in. Shout out to Strange Team Comp for doing that extra match. They had to really go through the gauntlet over there, not only winning, I think, the Southeast, but also the champions of the Northeast, and they put up a great fight. I'm glad we got to face off against them. Final shout out to my girlfriend and Parker, Kelly, anybody else who's watching, my friends. Thank you guys for supporting, and I'll see you next season.
Fantastic.
I just wanted to add, man, thanks for my mom for letting me stay in her basement through high school and college. She never said I'd be a champion, but here I am, Mom, Division B, baby, going for the win. Now I'm a true champion. Doesn't matter if I'm overweight. I'm having the time of my life. So thank you to you guys and the NGS community for just putting on a stellar performance. What a great community we have here, and look forward to the future. Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. All right. Resurgence of the Storm, Division B Grand Finals champions. Congratulations once again, and we look forward to seeing you in Season 12.
All right.
Thanks for casting.
Bye.
I'll call you back, Jazzy. All right. Let's get Jazzalene back on the line here. There we go. Turn the camera on. Perfect. All right, well, the series is concluded. What a series it was. Jazzalene, thank you so much for coming on and co-casting with me tonight. It's been a bit of a marathon, more than I expected for 4 games, but I had all sorts of fun.
No, it was a pleasure to come cast with you. Always fun to co-cast with you, Crush, and I'm happy to join you for the B Grand Finals. And excited to see a 1% core game in there as well tonight. That kind of made it for me. So thanks for having me on. I really do appreciate you inviting me.
It's been quite the year. This is the second last NGS match of the season. The Division E Grand Finals is going to be going on this Thursday, brought to you by IceX. So make sure to come on out for that. But it's, this whole season, this whole playoffs for me has been a really, really good experience once again. So thanks to the entire caster squad that's come together and made this season really, really fantastic to watch. Our numbers have been great, and the community can't be better. So shout out to NGS in general, shout out to the casters, and shout out to the teams that keep on coming back and making this an amazing community league. Oh.
Yeah. Also, don't forget there's a charity tournament going on this weekend. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about that.
There is a charity tournament being organized by Jazzalene happening this Saturday. It's going to be, there's all sorts of teams going to be playing, but it's going to be on both the main Nexus Gaming Series channel as well as Nexus Gaming Series 2. So make sure you follow over there as well to catch all the games and support the cause. Yeah.
I believe it kicks off at 10 a.m. is the first matches.
10 a.m. Pacific?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pacific.
10 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, 10 a.m. Pacific, and it goes all the way until like 5:30 p.m. So it's going to be a long day and a huge variety of casters coming in to cast these games. So you'll see some of your favorite NGS casters throughout the day stepping in to cast some of the matches. Should be a ton of fun. So make sure to come check it out.
Absolutely. I'll be there. Jazzy will be there. It's going to be awesome. So make sure you come and check that out. But that will do it for us tonight, Jazzalene. As we close things out, why don't you let the folks know where they can find you when you're not here?
Sure, you can go check me out over on twitch.tv/Jazzalene. I'm on Twitter at Jazzalene Games. I'm almost always streaming Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific time and Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time, unless there's charity tournaments going on, which is the case this Saturday. So you can catch me there. My stream schedule right now, a little bit up in the air because we just adopted a puppy. So kind of distracted a lot, just making sure that, puppy training and house training and he's not destroying things. But if you want to figure out if I'm streaming or when I'm going to be streaming on the off chance that I'm streaming outside of those Friday and Saturday streams, you can join my Discord or follow me on Twitter because I usually post there.
Make sure to follow Jazzalene for a bunch of excellent content, and I'm sure a puppy carnage stream. That's what I'm
I should have got him in here.
As for me, you can find me on my personal channel, twitch.tv/the Krushinator, where I'm playing, where I'm casting, where I'm doing all sorts of things, Heroes of the Storm. So make sure to follow me over there. I'm on Twitch, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search the Krushinator. You'll find all my stuff. All right. That's going to be it for tonight. Thank you all out there for watching. Thank you for cheering on your teams. It's been a blast. We will, this channel is going to be back Thursday for the E Grand Finals. One quick look at the puppy cam. There they are. What a doggy.
He's cutie.
Don't chew up too much, buddy.
He's licking my glasses.
We're going to close out tonight. So thank you very much for watching. Come on back Thursday. Come on back Saturday. And enjoy some more Heroes of the Storm. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.